welcome. We are on the campus of Jones County Junior College, Ellisville, Mississippi. It is the opening round of the MAC-JC playoffs, and the Lions of EMCC opening up on the road here today. Charlie Winfield, Glenn Beard, and Glenn, it's a rematch of a game earlier this year, a season opening game, and it was a tough contest for the Lions of EMCC. Had to kind of right the ship in the second half offensively to get away with a win. And anytime you're in the playoffs, you expect a difficult matchup, but EMCC used to cruising into that state championship game. They're going to have some work to do down here today.
Absolutely, and a lot of work that is. Jones County comes into today's contest a much improved team from what we saw at the first football game of the season. Both teams are totally different from that point of the season as well, Charlie, as you know, a lot of water has been under the bridge, but as you said, a lot of work to be done by this East Mississippi team. Hurdle number one right here in the playoffs against Jones here on the road.
Well, the thing for East Mississippi, you've got the quarterback, Lindsey Scott, a freshman. When he played that first game of the year, he'd barely been on campus more than a couple of weeks. Thought he really grew up in the second half, but I think we've seen him really progress throughout this season.
Absolutely, and as you would imagine, Coach Wilson from Jones, the defensive coordinator, I talked to him earlier. He's not going to put a whole lot of stock in that opening game because, as you said, Lindsey Scott had just got to campus. He's a totally different player than what he was back in September when we first started this thing off.
EMCC had a loss in an opening season game a year ago down here at JC. Ultimately kept them out of the playoffs, but even though they have a loss this year, sitting just on the edge of that national championship picture, and for reasons we will talk about as this game unfolds, if the Lions win a couple of games, not only a shot to be in the championship, a shot perhaps to host that championship game. But the Lions, first things first, they have to win here today in Ellisville, Mississippi. They will have elected to receive the football, and we are underway as the kick is going to carry down to the 5-yard line, coming back to the 15, to the 25, now getting a seam out to the 40 and falling down right around that spot across the way for East Mississippi was Brandon Rogers.
Yeah, Brandon Rogers hit that seam. He came towards in between the hashes and then back out towards the visiting sideline, and had one man to miss. He just shoelaced him right there, Charlie. He was tight roping up to the sideline, but still great field position to start the game for East Mississippi.
They will open at their own 42-yard line. They are at the hash across the way. And they'll have the quarterback, Lindsey Scott Jr., working out of the shotgun. They'll have three receivers right, one to the left side. Has the snap, has time to throw, completes the pass across the middle, and getting into Jones territory down at the 44-yard line is Calvin Keys Jr., and that's a first down right off the bat for the Lions.
Lindsey able to find Keys, the 5'10", 190-pound sophomore out of Collins, on that slant route, little combo pattern on the three-receiver side, going back to the same formation.
And Scott is going to take the snap, and we're going to have this play blown dead.
Flag on the play.
That's generally a false start anytime it's stopped before the play gets going, and that's what he said.
On the offense, the penalty is 5 yards.
Didn't hear the number, but one of the offensive linemen was guilty of the charge there. He's going to back up the Lions 5 yards. It'll be first down and 15 from the 49 of Jones.
And so they will have the football. Will the Lions back at the 49-yard line. Scott drops to throw, finds nothing. Now he's going to have to scramble, spins away from a guy, but now he's going to be dropped back in his own territory, back at the 47-yard line. Jones got good penetration that time and just busted that play up from the beginning.
That was Derek Hawthorne that was in on the tackle. He's a sophomore for Jones. Another tackle for loss, second down coming up. This time the Lions are back on their end of the field at the 48-yard line.
And they're going to bunch it up, bring three receivers tight to the right side, and Scott's going to drop, again looking to throw. Again, he's under pressure. He's going to give it away. It's going to fire higher. It's going to be intercepted, and pulling it down at the 34-yard line is going to be Jonathan Haynes, the defensive back for the Bobcats.
Lindsey right there just throwing off balance, and the ball sailed on him. His front shoulder went up in the air, and anytime that happens, the ball is going to go high, and that's exactly what happened. His intended wide receiver had no chance of climbing the ladder, and if that ball's on target, that's a big play for East Mississippi. However, he overthrew it, and the free safety was a good 5 yards behind the wide receiver, so he was there in position and made the catch. First down and 10 for the Bobcats.
Well, what do we say? You don't want to throw high over the middle, and that's what happened there. First and 10 for the Bobcats, working from their own 35-yard line. Put a man in motion, give it to him on the speed play, and being tackled for a loss of about 4 yards that time was the receiver, Kendall Parham, the sophomore out of Hattiesburg, but the Lions defense not fooled at all that time.
We see that a good bit. We've seen it a good bit this year, Charlie, but have we seen it go for positive plays very much?
Well, it's tough to run laterally on this Lions defense. A lot of speed out there. You've got the quarterback Weaver working out of the shotgun on second down and 15. Under pressure, is going to get it away, and, nearly caught. He threw it to Parham, who was at the 41, and I think Parham was surprised the ball got to him.
It was an absolute timing route right there, and Parham didn't get his head around in time. Quarterback threw it on time, obviously, but falls incomplete. Lions defense has a big third down and 15 facing it right here. Third down been a bit of issue for the Lions sometimes this year.
And Weaver will be out of the shotgun. Lions 4-down defensive lineman. Get late pressure. Weaver is going to avoid it. Flow to his right. He's going to complete the pass, but short of the first down. He got Parham, his favorite receiver, out to the 41, but that's going to bring up fourth and about 4. Nice job by Weaver that time, buying some time to make the pass.
I thought the Lions were going to have him back there for a sack as the two offensive linemen almost sandwiched him, but somehow he came out of there and just made an outstanding play. But still, the Lions secondary held up quite well. It's 4th down and 5, and they'll punt this football away.
And the punt will be away. It's going to be a high spiral. It's going to be fair caught back along the 17-yard line by the Lions. That was Clayton who took the fair catch. But the Lions will have good field, well, I say good field position. They'll have field position at their own 18. When you start to see a team punting from around midfield, you get worried that you're going to see one dropped in. And Glenn, we've said it a lot of times, the most underrated play is that fair catch. And you can live with field position at the 18. It's when you get back inside the 10, you've got trouble.
Absolutely.
But here's that Lion offense again, working from the 18. They'll give it to Tyrell Price, who's going to try the right side. He's going to come out to the 27, but there's a flag, and afraid they might have gotten a lineman for holding.
Yeah, I think you're right. As the Lions ran that stretch play to the near sideline, as the referee's mic cuts in and out, I think that was on number 75, Walter Barnes, 6'2", 275 sophomore out of Charleston, Mississippi. The guilty party, and obviously that's a spot foul, so the Lions are going to be facing a quite significant 1st down and 18.
Yeah, they'll be backed up along their own 9-yard line. Now we're going to have the officials step in, and we're going to have things blown dead before we even get restarted.
Inside the 10-yard line, ball will be spotted at the 8 on the near sideline, going from left to right, Charlie. And anytime you've got the shadow of your goalpost at your back, you get a little nervous.
Lions will work out of the shotgun. 3 receivers right, 1 left. They want to throw, and Scott will, and it's going to be complete out to the 15-yard line. Daniel Crowell made the catch, so not a big gain, a gain of 7, but it's any yardage to get you out away from that goalpost is a good thing here. Make it 2nd down and 13. This time they go twin receivers each side. They'll offset the running back to the right. Jones in a 4-3 type defensive look. Safety deep over the middle. Playing press coverage out on the edges. Scott's under some pressure. He's going to be flush from the pocket, and he's going to fall down. Well, he tried to cut it up, but lost his footing. And he's going to go back to the 8, so negate the game, the prior play. Now it's 3rd and long.
3rd down for East Mississippi.
Right there, Charlie, by formation, of course, our coaches are all on top of this. Anytime you see what they just had, that defensive look, they were playing zone to that side, but manned up on the outside.
And East Mississippi wants to throw again, and Scott looking, can't find anything. He's going to have to turn it up. He'll get up to the 18, and that's going to be a gain of about 10, but on 3rd and 20, it is only a matter of field position. That'll bring up 4th and long, and the Lion punt unit will take the field. So they'll kick it away from about where they started, which is to say the 18-yard line. Grayson Pontius will be on to punt. And Jones will get Jonas Spivey in punt return formation back at his 39. It's going to be a high kick, but Spivey may have time. He'll field it at the 35. He's going to bring it back to the 40, trying to swing to the outside. And he's going to give up some ground. Now come to the 45, come to the 50, get in Lion territory down at the 45. And boy, normally, Glenn, we tell punt returners, get up the field, don't dance around back there. At that time, the patience paid off.
Absolutely. Outstanding punt, decent hang time. I don't think it was in the area in which the punting unit wanted it. Generally, you want to try to pin them around the numbers, but that time it kind of floated. So your coverage team, Charlie, they'll migrate to where you're wanting to go, left or right, and if you kick it the opposite direction, that sets up for a big return, and Jones hit it for a big return, but a penalty flag was on the play that negates the big return by Jones and helps the Lions. That'll put the ball back at the 27-yard line on the near hash, going from right to left. Jones will have the football, 1st and 10, 9:53 to go here in this first quarter, tied up at 0.
That's a big penalty, 28-yard penalty when you consider where the ball would have been. In any event, Weaver back on the field. It's going to go to the air on 1st down. Quick pass here to the left, and it's complete. That's number 9, Kendall Parham. And, well, their passing game all year long has been about Parham. He has 3 times the receptions of anybody else on the team. A guy who comes in with 39 catches on the season, already has a couple here today. 2nd down, 7 for the Bobcats, working from their own 34-yard line. And Weaver wants to go to the air again, and he will, and it's going to be Parham again, and he's going to have the 1st down as he comes across the 40, gets out to the 42.
Going to those quick hitters outside, the bubble screens and the swing passes seems to be the theme for Jones right now, but you also got to be careful. They might pump that and go over the top of you if you're not careful.
Well, with Parham, you talk about the passing game being an extension of the running game. That's what we've seen those first couple of plays on this drive. 1st down and 10 from the 43. Weaver off play actions, going to throw. It's dropped. Well, he had a man, Gabe Rogers, a little quick slant at the far side of the field, but he couldn't haul it in. Pretty good coverage that time by Ty Williams for the Lions.
It's tricky when they hit those quick hitters like that, the hitches and the bubbles. Charlie, your corners, they want to start inching up. If you're not careful, they might blow right by you, and then you look really foolish.
Opening quarter of this ball game, no score, 8:56 to go. And the Bobcats of Jones with the football. And Weaver's going to stay on the ground, give it to his running back who gets into Lion territory and gets all the way down to the 41-yard line. That's Scott Phillips, the sophomore from here in Ellisville. That's the 2nd 1st down of the drive, 2nd 1st down of this ball game for either team. This time Weaver's going to keep it himself, and he's going to get a couple of yards across the right side. He finally brought to the ground by Dwayne Pickett. A gain of about 4 yards, though, as he went off the read option that time. Pulled it out of the belly of Phillips and kept it himself. Bring up 2nd down and 6. Working at the Lion 37-yard line. 8:18 to go, opening quarter, no score. Lions in a 4-3 type defensive look as the Jones is going to stay on the ground. They'll give it to Phillips, who'll come inside the 35, get down to the 34. Gain of about 3 yards on the play, and that's going to bring up 3rd down. Although, Glenn, with the football sitting at the 34, you'd have to think 4-down type territory here if you're the Bobcats.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those situations. It's 3rd down and 4, or 3rd down and 3 rather, from the 34-yard line.
Weaver will stay in the shotgun. Phillips is to his right. He's going to keep it on the quarterback draw, and he's going to fight his way down to about the 33, but the Lions do a nice job that time. I think they thought they might catch the Lions trying to bring pressure and run the quarterback draw against it, but nice job along that defensive front that time. Looked like Taylor, one of the guys who got an arm out. Now it's 4th and 2, and we're going to see a timeout, and Coach Buddy Stevens is going to take it across the way as Jones was quickly running to the line. But 7:18 to go. We're in the first quarter. No score in this football game, and a 4th down upcoming when play resumes. You're listening to EMCC Lion Football. Fourth down and 2 for the Bobcats at the Lion 32-yard line. See if they go with a hard snap count here. They're going to stay on the ground, give it to Phillips. He's hitting the backfield. Avoids a tackle. Now he's going to fight. I don't know. I don't think he got it, Glenn, but it's going to be close. I think he's going to be about a half-yard short.
Yeah, I think he's short. They'll, depending on the spot, but I think he's going to be a good half-yard short. Just looking from our vantage point. But Charlie, it goes back. Let's think about it. They had him in the backfield about 4 yards. Missed tackles. You got to wrap up, and that way you're not leaving it up to the length of the change or the elastic in the chain.
Well, and you go back, you think about that loss at Northwest, and how many times did we talk about tackle discipline? Well, Phillips did a nice job. He avoided the tackle in the backfield, and then I think smartly just got straight up the field. And now let's see how much pull is in those chains. Well, there's plenty for the Lions, and that is going to go over on downs. Lions will take over. Well, if you're a fan of offensive football, you will not have enjoyed the first 5+ minutes of this ball game because it's been an interception, a pair of punts, and a turnover on downs. But now the Lions will get their offense back on the field for the 3rd time. They'll work from their own 32, 7:12 to go in the first quarter. Let's see if they can do something with it this time. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Have a running back in Price. The left side of the quarterback, Scott, he'll take the handoff. He'll come out to the 38-yard line. That's a nice gain of some 6 yards. And Glenn, you all so often think about this Lion team being a team that likes to throw it, but boy, Tyrell Price is a real weapon if you'll use him.
Absolutely. He's like a runaway freight train.
And he's going to get it again, this time on 2nd down, and he is going to run for what should be a 1st down across the left side. And indeed it will be. So 2 carries and a 1st down for Tyrell Price. Moves the football out to the 43-yard line. Now the Lions starting to play with some tempo. Twin receivers each direction. As Lindsey Scott drops to throw, and he does, and it's complete out along the 49. He got it to Calvin Keys. He had to go to the ground to make the catch. It's a gain of 7 yards and a nice 1st down play as the Lions move to the 49. Again, quickly back to the line. Again, 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. This time they'll give it back to Price, and he's going to be hit. He's going to be stacked up. Not much doing at all that time. As good penetration across that defensive front. And Samaji Thomas led the way. That's going to bring up a 3rd down play for the Lions at the 48. They lost a yard. 3rd down and a long 4. We'll call it 5. Scott out of the shotgun, drops to throw. It's going to be complete, and Keys is going to reach. I think he got the 1st down. Let's see, he did.
Yeah, he's going to have it by about a yard, and East Mississippi not going to waste any time getting back up to that line of scrimmage.
They're at the 46 on the Jones County side of the field, and they will complete the pass to the near side, finding his way to the 40, down to the 39 is Tamorius Connor. And that's going to be another nice 1st down play. Again, a gain of about 7 on 1st down.
Jones trying the mass substitution.
And let's see if they can snap it and catch them. I think they did. I think they snapped it in time. They were going to go on the handoff to Jamori Mark, but I think they might have caught Jones with too many men on the field. And I'm not sure what has the angst of Buddy Stevens across the way, but we're some 60 yards and another 30 feet higher, and we can still hear him fairly clearly.
Well, I think it is, you know, he had Jones on the ropes. They're subbing right there. You want to line up and get set, and he's telling his offensive lineman, get there and get set.
How about that? They're going to get a penalty, exactly what you just said, Glenn, not being set on the play.
The was ignored as there was not a legal snap on the play.
It looks like that was Sharp, perhaps, that was not set, the right guard. In any event, it will be 2nd down and 8 to go. Move the football back to the 44. Lions in Bobcat territory, and Scott's going to drop to throw. Tunnel screen to the left side. It's going to be caught, but falling to the ground is Dontario Drummond, and that's going to be a loss of about 4 yards on the play. And
now they're going to say it's incomplete as he bobbled it.
Bobbled it going to the ground.
And they're saying it was incomplete, so it's going to bring up 3rd down.
Well, an incompletion would be a favor for the Lions. He would have lost yards had he caught it. So respotted at the 44, and now it's 3rd down. And about 8 to go.
Third down for the Lions.
So another 3rd down opportunity for the Lions. They've got it at the 44. On the Jones side of the football field, and they want to throw the football under pressure. He's going to step up. It's going to be complete to Connor. Down at the 24-yard line, knocked down at the 23. Haynes came up to make the hit, but that was a nice catch by Tamorius Connor.
Connor able to sit it down in that zone, and that's what I was alluding to earlier, Charlie, and that's what they came back to. They zoned on the 3 receiver side, manned up on the other side. Connor's able to sit in the middle of that zone, and Lindsey Scott was able to throw a strike to Tamorius Connor.
That's a great job by Scott, too, stepping up in the pocket that time. There was pressure coming. And now 1st and 10, they'll give it back to Tyrell Price, and he's going to have a nice game. Gets inside the 10, gets inside the 5, gets inside the end zone. Touchdown, Lions. Well, how about that run by Tyrell Price? One things you talk about him, he's got speed, he's got power, but maybe his greatest attribute, balance, and you saw it right there.
Absolutely. 23-yard touchdown run on that outside zone play as he hits to that edge, and then he gets north and south, gets it into the end zone, makes a man miss, and keeps his balance, gets in there for the touchdown.
So the point after touchdown is not pretty, but it's through. Crabtree got it through, and the Lions lead it 7-0 as they strike first here today in Ellisville. 4:51 to go in the opening quarter. Lions lead it 7-0. You're listening to EMCC Football.
Taking off the Lions, number 26.
So it's a 9-play drive, takes 2 minutes, 23 seconds, covers 68 yards, and it's capped by a Tyrell Price 23-yard touchdown run. And the Lions have a 7-0 lead. And they will kick off the football, and on the field to do just that is Grayson Pontius. But we're going to have a flag across the way.
There's a flag on the play.
And that's going to go against Buddy Stevens, I believe.
Sideline warning on East Mississippi.
Well, it's a sideline warning, and shall we say, being perhaps expressive of his views across the way is Buddy Stevens, and the official took some exception. Nevertheless, East Mississippi will kick off, and from the 35. Pontius has teed it up, checks with his team, they're ready. He comes forward on the football, and he is going to send a kick that's going to carry down to the 5-yard line, be brought back from that spot to the 20, out to the 25, and making his way out to the 26-yard line is Deshaun Smith. But he is tackled that time by Joseph Anderson for the Lions, and now the Lion defense, who's forced to punt, the turnover on downs, will be back on the field. And 4:44 to go in the opening quarter. The Bobcats of JC will be on the football at their own 27. Be the third possession of the ball game for Jones. Each team will have had it 3 times now here in this first quarter. And it looks like we'll have a new quarterback in the ball game as they're going to stay on the ground. The straight ahead running play to the right side. That's Phillips who got the carry, but that's Hawthorne who was checked in the ball game at quarterback. Hawthorne plays a lot too. That's not unusual, not a big move for Jones. Gain of 3 on the play. Hawthorne, not a big guy, 5'9" and 170. He's got Phillips to his right. He's got a halfback or a fullback that way. They're going to go off play action and want to throw. Hawthorne can't find anybody. Now it's going to be forced to throw the football. It's batted away. The Lions almost got there to intercept it.
Duke Upshaw makes an outstanding break on the football and almost was able to do just a tip drill, but he is slow to get up on the play as he's down at about the 40-yard line. Appears to be grabbing his left leg.
They were trying to get the football to Jericho Morris, but Upshaw made a break on the play and now seems to be, as you say, grabbing his leg right below the knee. And boy, Duke Upshaw, a very good defender in this Lions secondary. You hate to see him down. Kind of reset the scene for you. It's a 7-0 football game. The Lions of East Mississippi in the lead. Lions on their first possession of the ball game ran just 3 plays before throwing an interception. Jones would run 3 and out before punting the football away. East Mississippi held it for 3 plays before punting. Jones went on a drive, got it down to the 33 on the East Mississippi side of the football field, but turned it over on downs as the Lion defense held. Lions then go on a 9-play scoring drive, cover 68 yards to take the lead. Now Jones back with the football, but Duke Upshaw being helped off the field, and a lot of times you can say a guy's leaving more or less under his own power. Upshaw basically being carried off the field.
Yeah, that's not a good scene as we see him go to the medical tent on the far side. However, East Mississippi facing a big 3rd down right here, 3rd down and 7, ball on the 30-yard line. Jones has the football, 4:11 to go in this first quarter.
They'll put twin receivers each way. East Mississippi in a 4-1 type defensive look as Jones spreads the field. Hawthorne's going to roll to his right. He's going off the bootleg, and he's going to have the first down, and he's going to get out to midfield, get into Lion territory at the 46. Nice play call that time. Gave the look as if they were going to come to the left, but they bootlegged it back to the right. And that was a nice run by the quarterback, Dietrich Hawthorne.
It's really frustrating as your defensive end. He has to keep his outside shoulder free and maintain containment out there, and unfortunately for the Lions, Lorenzo Dantzler peeked inside a little too much and allowed the quarterback to get over the top of him, and there was no help on the outside.
Gain of 24 yards on the play and earns the first down. Now Hawthorne will stay on the ground. He's going to hand it to his running back, trying the left side. That's Smith, and he's going to have about a yard. That will be all. Lions did a nice job that time along the defensive front. And had coming up from the linebacker spot, Johnson to help with the tackle. Also got good pursuit that time from Lorenzo Dantzler. 2nd down and 9 at the 45.
Jones slowing the pace a little bit here, Charlie.
It's going to be interesting, too. It's kind of a muggy day here. A little bit warm, and it's going to be interesting to see how these players react in that regard. Hawthorne's going to take the snap, trying the right side. He's going to get down to the 40, a gain of about 4 yards. Over to make the tackle was Tyree Evans for the Lions. That's going to bring up 3rd down and about 4 to go.
Another 3rd down coming up for the Lion defense. Got to find a way to get off the field on 3rd down, Charlie. It's been a little bit of a headache, as we just saw a couple times already today.
7-0 ball game. We're in the first quarter of play. Lions in the lead. With the Bobcats of JC working on the Lions side of the football field. 3rd down and a long 3. And they're going to hand the football. That's Phillips coming to the near side. He's going to cut up to the 35. He's going to have the 1st down. He could have more. He's down to the 20. And he gets down to the 18-yard line. And if not for the fact that Ontario Johnson just grabbed a hold of him by the back of his jersey, he's gone for a touchdown.
Well, speaking of holding there, Charlie, some of the best holding you've ever seen in your life that allowed him to get that far. Unfortunately, it wasn't called, but it was pretty obvious from our vantage point. You could have called it on about 3 different players against Jones, but they have it 1st and 10.
22-yard carry, and now Hawthorne's going to keep it himself. He's going to run through a tackle. He's going to get down to the 10-yard line. That's going to be a gain of about 8. Lions had a guy back there in Eric Kitchen, but he had a handful of jersey, and Hawthorne just pulled through it.
Another missed tackle.
Gain of 8 on the play. 2nd down, 2 to go. They're at the Lion 10. The final minutes here of this first quarter of play. We saw the Lions score the last time they had the football, and here the Bobcats trying to answer. They moved it all the way down to the 10. They got Hawthorne in the ball game at the quarterback. He's got Phillips, the running back, to his right. And he's going to go to the air. He's going to skip it out to his receiver. And that ball, they're going to rule it a lateral. Oh, now they're going to blow it dead. Now they're going to blow it dead. Well, how does that happen? You've got the white hat running with the football, calling it a lateral pass, and someone back behind the play blows it dead. And Rick Mitchell, the white hat, down ready to signal the touchdown, and the rest of the officiating crew huddled back up around the line of scrimmage.
Now, if we're able to keep Buddy Stevens in the ball game after this call, if it goes the way I think it will probably go because the referees screw up, it's going to be a miracle in itself, Charlie.
So here would be the situation. There was unquestionably a whistle. And with the whistle, the play should be blown dead. But you have a very real possibility of having a lateral pass and the ball going over to the Lions, but losing what would have been a touchdown by virtue of the inadvertent whistle. Although there wasn't much inadvertent about it.
Yeah, it was a lateral without a doubt, and the Lions picked it up. It had not been recovered by Jones.
And let's get the explanation. Well, we're not going to hear it because the official's microphone not working.
By rule, it is
They're going to call the inadvertent whistle, so the Lions will possess the football at the place of recovery.
But that is a touchdown taken away from the Lions. And here's what's frustrating about that. Well, the frustrating thing is the official who was on the play was running with the football. He was letting it go. It's an official behind the play who blows it dead. And that is, I understand the concept of human error and the like, but that is an 80-yard touchdown return taken off the board.
Yeah, that is definitely frustrating. How the
First and 10, East Mississippi.
back judge can make that call from where he stands 20, 30 yards away.
So it'll be East Mississippi ball at their own 20. Let's see if they can get the touchdown now. They're going to hand it to the running back Price. He's going to slip to the ground. It's going to be a loss of a yard. Tried to cut it up the middle, lost his footing. Back at the 19-yard line, bring up 2nd down and 11.
Loss on the play, 2nd down for the Lions.
Well, Glenn, Buddy Stevens managed to stay in the game. Felt like getting thrown out myself after that one. 2nd down and 11. Scott out of the shotgun, has 3 receivers to the right. He's going to drop to throw. He's got some time. He's going to fire. It's going to be intercepted almost. Oh, it was dropped. It went off the hands of his receiver, Drummond, and there was Haynes, the defensive back, right there. Boy, you could see pick six written all over that one, but he just couldn't haul it in.
Yeah, Drummond, if he hangs on to that football, he's got an opportunity to go to the races right there. But the bad thing is you cannot tip that thing up. I mean,
had time to throw and had the receiver, just couldn't connect. 3rd down and 11 now for the Lions at the 19. Scott again looks to throw. He's being flushed. He's under some pressure. He's just going to have to get rid of it. It's going to go incomplete. He was looking for Crowell out around the 25. It would not have been enough for the 1st down, and so now the Lions will have to punt the football, and boy, that whistle does make a big difference because instead of a touchdown, you're now just punting it away.
Yeah, you went 3 and out and didn't have an opportunity to really gain any momentum right there. And however, on the bright side, you did stop a threatening Jones offense that was knocking on the door.
Well, now you need a big punt from Pontius, who stands back along his 4. If all goes to plans, he'll kick around the 8. And he does. It's a low kick, not much to it. End over end, needing a hop. Coming up, fielding it is Jones. The official, though, is going to blow this one dead. And I'm not sure if he had signaled fair catch or what he did. There was.
He signaled fair catch. He let the ball hit, and then he came up and caught it. But with an attempt to run like that, isn't that a penalty?
It should be a delay game penalty. You know, once you signal for a fair catch and elect not to do so, that should be a penalty. But here today, a lot of new things creeping into the stat book. JC has the football at midfield. 11 seconds to go in the 1st quarter.
It's just the 1st quarter here, Charlie, and if you're grading out the officials, I tell you what, it's not a good thing.
They've got Hawthorne back in the ball game at quarterback. He's going to hand it to his running back trying the right side, and Smith, who's going to come to the basically near back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and that's going to take us to the end of the 1st quarter. Well, they've got a quarter in the books. The Lions lead it 7-0. We'll be back in a moment. You're listening to EMCC Lion Football. To the 38-yard line. Who else? That's Kendall Parham. Lions did a better job that time, Glenn, of staying on the backside, but good job by Hawthorne just maintaining composure, completing the pass, picking up the 1st down.
Yeah, Parham's that type of wide receiver. If you're not careful, he'll get lost on you, and you won't find him until it's too late.
And Hawthorne's going to keep it himself, trying the right side. It's going to come down to the 32-yard line.
Dietrich Hawthorne on the scramble.
Boy, Dietrich Hawthorne, not a big guy, but he is dangerous. Made it look pretty easy that time. Got it down to the 31. That's a gain of 7. So Jones will have Smith, the running back, Hawthorne, the quarterback, in the backfield. Offset a guy to the right. Put 2 receivers to the left side. Stay on the ground, give it to the running back Smith, and he is going to be near 1st down yardage. As he gets down near the 27-yard line, I think he'll have enough, and he will.
That offensive line just got a good push on that play right there, Charlie, and that'll move the chains for Jones. East Mississippi backed up again defensively.
So 5th play of the drive upcoming. Jones has moved it down to the Lion 27-yard line. Lions in a 4-2 defensive look. It's Hawthorne, the quarterback. He's going to have his receiver at the far side move that time. And that was Champagne, DeAndre Champagne. Is leaning forward a little bit too soon. And boy, Glenn, as a coach, that's one of those things that frustrates you because there's one guy who shouldn't be jumping off sides. It's the wide receiver.
Absolutely. That and the nose guard. Should never happen.
So move the football back to the 32-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 15. The Lions have kind of had their backs against the wall a couple of times, but they've been able to come up big. 3rd time that Jones has been in their territory. Go to the air, complete at the 25, getting down to the 21, spinning him down to the 20 is Parham. Not a first down, but it's a nice gain. Gain of about 12 yards on the play, and it'll bring up 2nd down and short.
He's tackled on number 34, Emmanuel Bridges, and number 9, Jacob Akins.
2nd down and about 3 to go. Boy, Parham is really dangerous.
Yeah, he really is. The only way you can kind of neutralize him is get some push in that defensive line and make the quarterback start maybe having some errant throws. A little too much time is allowing him to find Parham.
2nd down and 3. They'll fake it to Parham on the jet sweep and instead give it to the running back, and that is Scott Phillips. He'll come down to about the 18-yard line, be just short of the first down, it appears. Gain of 2 on the play brings up 3rd down and 1.
3rd and 1 for the Bobcats.
Kind of like the look that time, though, from Jones. Create a little misdirection with the guy in motion. Well, they got Hawthorne in the shotgun. Phillips is to his left. Lions crowd the line of scrimmage. Phillips is going to get it. He's going to try the middle. I don't know. He was hit at the line of scrimmage. Somebody for the Lions got penetration that time.
I think he's going to be short.
Getting up from the bottom of that pile for the Lions is Marquise Griffin, the 6'3", 325 defensive lineman out of Carthage. I think if anything, he lost about half a yard. In any event, it's going to be 4th and 1 at the 18.
4th down facing Jones, 4th and 1.
They're going to keep their offense out on the football field. Hawthorne is in the shotgun. He's going to hand it, no, pull it out, keep it himself, trying to get the right. It's going to fire downfield. It's going to go incomplete. Well, he threw it into the back of the defensive back, Swinney, for the Lions. And on 4th and 1, they try to go to the air. And it comes up short for the Bobcats.
Wow, that was huge for the Lions right there, Charlie. It looked as if he could have just ran it. But I'm glad he did what he did. Is Lions defense holds them on 4th down. Offense comes back out on the field. They'll have to go.
They'll have to go 82 yards to get points. And they'll start from their own 18. But 3 receivers right. Scott wants to throw, and he does. It's complete out at the 25, fighting his way out to the 27-yard line. It's Calvin Keys Jr. Not enough for a first down, but it's a gain of 9. Quickly back to the line of scrimmage come the Lions. This time they're going to stay on the ground. Give it to Price. He's got a good hole out to the 40 and out to the 44-yard line. That'll be a first down and a lot more. Gain of 17.
Charlie, that was a hole you drive a Mack truck through sideways. Outstanding job by that offensive line on that play.
We might have got Jason Crowder through that hole. Scott's going to roll the throw. He's under pressure. Now he's going to have to scramble back to his left side. And he's going to just get it away and throw it into the sidelines. Boy, there are people laying all over the field. We've got restless fans wanting flags, but I'll tell you what sticks out on that play, Glenn, a lot of athleticism by your quarterback.
Yeah, that was just pure determination to get the ball out of his hand and not take the sack. We got an injured Jones player on this near sideline.
An injured player was Tyreek Moody, the linebacker, out of Petal. Looks like he'll be okay.
2nd down and 10 coming up from the 44-yard line.
10:30 to go, second quarter play. Lions a 7-0 to lead. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left side. 5, now 4 down defensive linemen. Looked like Jones was off sides, but no flag. Price is going to take the carry about a yard to the right side. Boy, it looked like that defensive end across the way, just a little quick getting up the field.
Yeah, but no flag that time. 3rd down coming up for the Lions from the 45-yard line.
3rd and 9.
So Lions forsake the huddle. They're at the line of scrimmage. Twin receivers each direction. 3rd down and 9. Big play here for the Lions. Pressure coming. Scott stands in the pocket, fires complete, and getting down to the 41-yard line in a 1st down, Calvin Keys. And boy, I've been really impressed by Scott's ability to stand in the pocket and throw today.
Yeah, he's done an outstanding job. He stayed in there just a little bit longer than we've seen him in the past, and it's really paying off for him.
Gain of 14. This time Mark's going to get the carry, and he's going to spin down to the 40, just about a yard on the play.
Mark on the carry.
Not much doing that time as the defensive end from the near side got over to make the tackle. Lions quickly back at the line of scrimmage. Mark stays in the ball game. Going to pick up a blitzer to the right. Lions trying to throw it downfield. It's going to go incomplete. No holding call there. No interference call, that is. Ontario Drummond was running down there, and he was carrying a defensive back around his waist.
Yeah, really surprised the flags didn't come flying out right there. Charlie, they manned up across the line, all the way across the field to every wide receiver, but they were holding all the way.
And now we're going to have the officials step in and talk a timeout. Take a timeout. Maybe Buddy Stevens wants to have a conversation about that. It'll be 3rd and 9 when play resumes. 9:18 to go in the first half of play. Lions lead at 7-0. You're listening to EMCC football. Third down and 9 at the 40. They'll put twin receivers each way. Jones in a 4-3 defensive look, walks up a linebacker, brings pressure. Lions pick it up. It's going to go incomplete. They were trying to get the football to Merritt down along the 30, but a nice job by the defensive back Williams stepping in front of the pass. And that's going to bring up 4th and 9 and presumptively a punt situation here for the Lions.
Yeah, you've got an opportunity to really pin them deep. If Grayson doesn't put too much foot in it right here, you want to drop this thing inside that 10-yard line.
Grayson Pontius.
Pontius will stand back along his own 45. Awaits the pass back, and he's going to get the punt away. An end-over-end kick that's going to hit, take a Lion roll inside the 5, be downed at the 1. Well, that thing hit about the 14 and just took the roll that it needed. Glenn, I started to ask you, of course, a punter back in your day. Is that the one where you sometimes like to see your team maybe take a delay a game, back it up, give you a little more room, or is that where you like to be?
You like to get a little breathing room that way, just in case you hit it better than you think you did. But right there, he dialed it up, the old bump and run, looked like the Charlie Winfield bump and run golf shot.
Not pretty, but effective is what you're saying. So first down and 10 for Jones. 9:04 to go in the first half. They've got it at their own 2. They'll have their quarterback, and Weaver will be back in the ball game. He'll be standing in his own end zone. They'll have Phillips in behind him. As he takes the snap, is going to go to the air, complete out to the 8, coming to the 10, and out to the 15-yard line on the reception. That's Jericho Morris. He was shaken up earlier, but back in the ball game and has a first down.
It's a pretty gutsy play call right there, Charlie. They faked the little toss and then hit the slant on the backside, standing in his own end zone.
And now go off play action on first down. It's going to be complete to the near side and getting around a tackler, coming to the 30, out across the 40 into the 42-yard line. And that's Jonas Spivey, and boy, he just made a guy miss, and once he did, he had a lane to run.
Yeah, he did. It made a guy miss, and there was nobody out there to help him in time. And 2 plays, and Jones is out of their end zone and approaching midfield.
Gain of 13 on the first play, gain of 27 after that. And now they're going to have Weaver keep it himself, and he's going to get up to about the 43-yard line. So maybe a gain of a yard on the play, but not much doing there.
Second down for Jones.
And that's going to bring up second down and 9 to go. Weaver out of that pistol formation, running back in behind him. Now we'll look into the sidelines to see how they'd like to adjust the play. He has 2 receivers and an up back offset to the left. Has his running back that way to Phillips, fake it to him, go to the air, and it's going to go through the hands of Parham, his intended receiver, and if Parham holds on, that's a 25-yard gain, maybe more. Can't do it.
Third down for Jones.
Third down coming up. Lion defense looking down the barrel of another third down play. This one 3rd and 8 from the 43.
So a big play here in this football game. Lions would like to get it back for their offense. 3rd down and 8 to go. 7:42 to go in the first half. Lions with a touchdown lead. Bobcats have the quarterback Weaver. He's going to look to throw. It's going to be complete. That's a first down to Parham as he's going to get into Lion territory at the 42. Mark him down at the 41. Nothing fancy that time. Glenn just got him open by the sidelines.
Yeah, and that really wasn't bad coverage there, Charlie. It's just an outstanding throw and catch. And Parham, he doesn't need but just an inch or two, and he can make a big play.
A little trickery here, flea flicker type play. They're going to throw downfield. We got a man wide open. He's in the end zone. That's a touchdown. It's the pass to Spivey. Well, they just tossed it around and gave it back to the quarterback, and Weaver just had a man. The only question was how long did it take to get there.
You know, Charlie, when you can do all of that in the backfield, that lets you know real quick there's not enough penetration going on right there with your defensive line. He handed the ball off. Running back tossed it to the wide receiver tossed it back to the quarterback, and all that takes time.
Extra point is up. It's good. We've got a tie football game. 7:16 to go in the first half. And the Bobcats answer 7-7. We'll be back in a moment. You're listening to EMCC Lion Football. That was a quick one. 98 yards, 5 plays, 1:48 seconds off the clock. For Jones, they tie it up, and now they will kick off. And it's going to be a kick that's going to carry on the ground down to about the 10-yard line. Brandon Rogers will pick it up. He'll come back to the 30 and get all the way out to the 39. So nice job returning the kick there by Rogers.
Yeah, an outstanding return by Rogers. East Mississippi will come out and have the football. First down and 10 from the 39. And Charlie, you know, what adjustments do you make right here? I mean, offensively, you've kind of spit and sputtered a little bit.
I can tell you one I'd like to make, and that's to get Tyrell Price the football. And he will be offset to the left from the quarterback, Scott. He's going to get the handoff. He's going to try the right side. He's going to get to the 35, get across midfield. But I think we're going to have a flag down behind the play, and I think there might be a holding back there, Glenn.
Yeah, that's going to go against, I think it was number 51, the guilty party for the Lions. That's Jones, Jacoby Jones.
Holding 51 on the offense.
And you're exactly right. It is a hold on Jacoby Jones. And as explosive and as good as this Lions offense is, Glenn, there is no offense that likes playing behind the chains, and we've seen that a couple of times today. The Lions guilty of holding calls, and those just really put you in the box. And now it's going to be 1st and 22 as the football moves back to the 28. And on first down, Scott's going to throw. He's going to complete out to the 34-yard line.
That's Merritt on the catch. Kirk Merritt with his first catch of the day.
Tried to get it to him once earlier, but as you say, that's the first time they've been able to connect. Get out to the 33. It's a gain of 5. It brings up 2nd and 17. And Scott has the snap. Steps up, fires, complete. And that's going to be Merritt again out at the 44. And so it's going to be a gain of about 11. And now a 3rd down and 6 to go. So a manageable 3rd down, considering you started with 1st and 22.
3rd and 6 for the Lions.
Manageable, but a big 3rd down. You really need to convert this 3rd down.
And now Scott looks to throw. He's going to fire complete. That's a 1st down. And spinning his way down to the 43-yard line and absorbing a bit of a late hit is Mike Williams. But he makes the catch, earns the 1st down, and that's a big play right there for this Lions offense.
Yeah, it was. That was a huge 3rd down conversion, Charlie. Keeps the drive alive.
And the football to Jamori Mark trying the right side. He's going to get inside the 40, keep his feet, spin his way down to the 28-yard line. Boy, you talk about a change of pace back. There may be no bigger change of pace than between Price and Jamori Mark.
That's exactly where I was going to go as well, Charlie. Talk about a change up in the backs. Price, you're hit you in the mouth type guy, and then Jamori Mark, the speedier of the two, gets to that outside and gets around the edge rather quickly.
Glenn, we've got a brief stoppage of play here. 5:23 to go in the first half of play. Tie football game, 7-7. And Glenn, you look at this EMCC offense, it just, I think you've kind of said it's kind of been starts and stops here today. A couple of times it looked like they were going to get something going. Last drive, for example, then just, got to the 40, just couldn't get that one play that they needed. They get a couple of good plays, and then all of a sudden things just kind of shut down on them.
Yeah, and throw into the mix, you get a couple of big-time runs, and then some holding calls you back, brings it back on, and nullifies those big runs, and that just kind of puts you behind the 8 ball. There, and then of course there's been some other things, swings in the game, a touchdown that got called back that just the referee's a judgment call there, things like that. Other than that, you'd be sitting here 2 touchdowns ahead.
Well, we're gonna have motion that time, but it's gonna be a question. Both teams are pointing at the other. For the Lions, the left tackle Jacoby Jones moved, but the question is whether he was induced to do so. He felt like he was. I don't think the officials are going to accept that interpretation, and they will not. They're going to be a 5-yard penalty against the Lions, move it back to the 34.
Start is called against East Mississippi.
It goes back to what we were hitting on, Charlie. We're beginning to run out of toes to shoot off at this point.
First down, 15 for the Lions at the 33, Bobcat side of the field. Going to hand it to Mark, and he's going to find not much. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And he will run into a wall of tacklers, or perhaps the wall ran into him, but either way, it'll be no gain on the play. Second down and 15. Yeah, they're going to give him about half a yard on forward progress, but second down, 15 to go. Long snap count. Lions now want to throw, and it's going to be complete down at the 28. Big gain of about 7 yards. Connor, the man who caught it. They'll mark him out of bounds at the 27. So make it a gain of 6, but it's going to be third down and 9 now.
Another probably 4 down territory, Charlie, I would imagine.
And on third down, Scott drops, has time, now is going to fire. It's complete at the 20, coming to the 15. Should be a first down for the Lions. They got it to Drummond, and he did a nice job of keeping his feet, picking up yards after the catch. It gets it to the 14. That's a gain of 13 yards, and you needed 9. That's enough. Now they're going to give it to Mark, trying the right side, and he's going to be hitting the backfield, push his way maybe for a gain of 1. I think we're going to catch a JC player.
Yeah.
Extra man on the field that time.
That's exactly what you're going to have. Substitution violation is going to result in too many men on the field against Jones.
On the defense, 12 men, 5-yard penalty.
So it'll be a 5-yard penalty for having 12 men on the field. That should move the football down inside the 10. Well, Glenn, I think if you're trying to defend this team, you understand wanting to keep fresh players out there, but it just goes too fast to be shuffling guys in and out.
Especially when the ball is on the far side of the field from your sideline.
First down and 5 from the 9 now. Scott looking to throw, is going to fire towards the end zone. Let's see. Oh, it's going to be batted away. Nice effort that time by the Lions. They had Williams trying to go up, but nice job by the defensive back that time. That was Peters, who went up and dislodged the football as they came to the ground.
Mike Williams did a good job going up for the catch, but he's got to control it through the ground there, and when he hit the ground, it popped out. It's going to bring up second down, and timeout is called.
Well, they're not going to give him the timeout. They're going to call a penalty, illegal substitution on the Lions.
On the offense, the penalty is 5 yards.
Let's see if they may be stuck with a timeout anyway, but boy, Buddy Stevens saw it. He was trying to prevent it, but it was too late. The flag had been thrown. So each team now with a substitution penalty. And that has the football back at the 14. Second down for the Lions. Give it to Tyrell Price. He's going to be stacked up. He's going to fight back to the line of scrimmage. That will be about it. Nothing doing on the inside running game on that particular play. And now it's third down.
Number 38, Fred Peters. Third down.
3:56 to go in the first half, and
timeout.
So we're going to see a timeout call.
Timeout of the half.
And while they take that timeout, we'll take it with them. It's a 7-7 ball game, 3:51 to go. Lions threatening, but face a third down at the 14 when we Lions have it. They're at the Bobcat 14-yard line, but it's a third down and 9. Really would like a touchdown here if you're the Lions. And they're going to throw. It's going to go incomplete. He had his receiver at the 5, but Williams couldn't hold on.
You can't throw it 102 for 10 yards. That's the thing we've got to grasp there, Charlie, as he has his open receiver. But it's hard to catch a ball coming at you 102 miles an hour when you're just 10 yards away.
Yeah, a little much on the fastball that time. And Now the Lions will attempt the field goal.
Mississippi number 30.
And that will be Taylor Crabtree to attempt it. The hold is down, the kick is up, it is good, and the Lions go on top 10-7, 3:43 to go in the first half of play. And Glenn, well, the Lions get a 10-play drive that time. It starts back at their own 28. It results in the field goal. And perhaps not what you drew up, but it was important for the Lions to get points there.
Yeah, you have to get points right there before the halftime. 3:43 to go in this first half. Lions lead 10-7. Defense is going to have to come up big. There's still a lot of time left in the half. And maybe the Lions defense comes up big and the offense can come out and put another one down the field.
Yeah, you look at these series so far in the ballgame for Jones. They had a punt, a turnover on downs, a fumble, another turnover on downs, and then the last time out they get the bit of trickery, get the touchdown pass from Weaver to Spivey to, at the time, tie up the ball game. Lions will kick off the football. This one's going to carry into the end zone, and that will be a touchback. And so the Bobcats will get their offense back on the field. They scored their last time out. This time they'll have a chance to drive or take the lead, but the Lions would love to get the football. 3:43, still a lot of time. You get it back, maybe give your offense another turn.
Yeah, you're right, Charlie. We have to stand up big here on this defensive possession or defensive opportunity here.
Weaver will be back in the ballgame at quarterback. He was the starter, gave way to Dietrich Hawthorne for a while. But now he is back in the game. He has Deshaun Smith, the running back, to his right side. And now we'll stick him in behind and hand it to him, trying the left side. And he's going to find not much doing. That time the Lions got good penetration. Eric Kitchen and Aaron Boatwright there to drop the play for no gain. Boy, good job of Kitchen of setting the edge, turning it back in, and then Boatwright was there to make the tackle. Second down and 10 from the 25. Weaver pumps, now is going to throw down the field. It's going to be complete at the 41, and making a nice catch and holding on after the hit is Harry Ballard. Defensive back for the Lions is down after contact. That's Akins. Came up, tried to put the big hit on it, dislodged the ball, and well, he is down at the 41. And the good thing, Glenn, we are seeing some movement. As he is moving his arms and his legs a little bit. That's the thing you always look for when you see a guy go limp on the sidelines is you want to see that movement to know that they're going to be okay. And it appears that ultimately he will be, being attended to by a staff of many.
Yeah, Jones' trainers were right there on top of him very quickly. And then East Mississippi's trainers sprinted across the field themselves. They set him up.
Well, you go back and you look at that play, Glenn. It was we have seen so many times Jones throwing short, those bubbles, those swing passes. And sometimes you start to react to that, and you got a little bit of a pump, and then they look downfield and they get a guy open.
Yeah, they pumped it on him, and then they hit him in that zone as the wide receiver was able to set it down just in time. But Atkins comes over and he lays a big hit.
And he is going to leave the field more or less under his own power. And that is a good sign. Now he's going to stop for a second. Looks like, hard to diagnose from this distance, Glenn, but perhaps just took a little bit of a blow to the head there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a scary thing when you see that happen, a big hit, and then the player's face down and no movement.
I tell you, one of the things I think a real advance in football at all levels, even on down to the high school and junior high level over the past 5-6 years, is that teams and training staffs really starting to take much more seriously the idea of a head injury and those things. And no longer the days of all just get tough. You got your bell rung. Now you're starting to see guys really understand the science behind it, and they'll take those seriously. I'm really surprised if we see him back in the ball game. First down, 10 to go at the 43-yard line for the Bobcats of Jones. And they're going to hand it to Smith across the left side. He's going to pick his way out to the 45. Lions got Pickett in there to help make the tackle. Tyree Evans was also around the play. Another guy, by the way, Glenn, Marquise Griffin's done a nice job kind of clogging up that middle. And so many times when you evaluate defensive players, you want to look at tackles. But when you've got a guy lined up over the center, a lot of times it's a question that doesn't hit the stat sheet, and that's how many blockers can you occupy? How much damage can you do to free up some linebackers in behind you? And well, Griffin's done a nice job of that here today.
He really has, and now this drive here, we've seen a little more penetration by that defensive line, which has helped out things tremendously. Second down coming up.
It'll be at the 46-yard line. The Bobcats going to fake the toss. Now Weaver's going to look downfield. He throws high, and well, that was a dangerous pass. We talked about it earlier. You don't want to throw high over the middle. He was looking for Parham and threw high, but I suppose if you're going to be high, be way high, because he overthrew all the safeties as well. That one sailed on him. That's going to bring up third down now at the 46.
Third down and 7, and Charlie, right here, you want to keep your eye on Parham. You can't let him get lost. He's their go-to guy.
And he will be in the slot across the way here on third down. And Weaver off play action, looks to throw, but he's going to be bottled up. He's going to be dropped. He is going to be dropped for a loss of 3 on the play. Getting back there for the Lions, Eric Kitchen. Well, that was good pressure up the middle. Weaver tried to get up the field, but Kitchen caught him from the backside and is going to drop him for a loss of 3 on the play. That's going to bring up 4th and 10 from the 43.
Big play right there from the defensive line. East Mississippi. Looks like Jones is probably going to let it roll down and then call a timeout or even possibly take the delay.
Yeah, East Mississippi has used all their timeouts, so even though the clock runs in 1:40, basically helpless to stop it. And Jones will take that timeout, and 1:39 to go in the first half of play. Lions leading 10-7. Well, Glenn, you've got 1:39 to go. You're out of timeouts. Barring a nice punt return or a block, you're going to have a lot of green in front of you. The way that things have worked for East Mississippi today, what are you thinking? Are you thinking let's get down the field and score? Or are you thinking let's just kind of grind this thing out, get in the dressing room up 10-7?
I think you probably test the waters on first down and second down of your possession. If you can avoid the second and long, if you're a second and real short, then you can probably go pedal to the metal there and keep trying to move the ball down the field. But if you come up, second and long, and then you might want to change your strategy there and just try to get into the locker room and make some adjustments at the halftime.
And the punch for the Bobcats, number 46, Taylor Wallace.
So Taylor Wallace, the punter for the Bobcats, will stand back along his own 29. He's going to send a kick that's going to be a bad one. It's going to have some backspin. It's going to hit, and it's going to get down to the 33. That's going to be it. And so the 1:28 to go, Glenn. A lot different thought process at the 33 than you'd have back along, say, your own 10.
See, that's what you get with a rugby-style punt sometimes, Charlie. You've got a punter that proved already that he can really boom it and hang it up high. You try to get cute and keep it away from the returner by doing the rugby thing, and, boy, it hits you in the face right there. As rather poor punt gives East Mississippi a decent fair field position.
At the 33-yard line, 1:28 to go in the first half. And I don't know what is catching the interest of the Lions coaches next to us, but they didn't like it. But it's going to be a completion on the pass. And boy, that's a nice throw right there to Dontario Drummond.
Well, they go 4 wide receivers to the far side and bring 1 to the near. They've got man coverage with Drummond on this near side. It's an obvious mismatch against the number 18 Richardson, who stands at 5'9".
Gets to the 48-yard line, Jones side of the field. Gain of 19 on the play. Scott's going to drop the throw. He's going to fire over mark, incomplete, and probably good for the Lions that went incomplete because there was defensive back bearing down on Mark. And if he makes the catch, he's going to be tackled in bounds and the clock would run after no gain. And as it stands, the clock will stop. Minute 18 to go.
See now, Charlie, you're across midfield, so you want to at least try to get into field goal range.
2nd and 10. And the quarterback, Scott, under some pressure, steps up and is going to fire complete. Makes a man miss. Is Drummond. He's going to get down to the 20 into the 19. Boy, Drummond made the catch, made a defender miss, and then got up the field. He got to the 19. And now you're really in business at 1:09 to go in the half.
Jonathan Haynes, 1st and 10 left.
Boy, and these are the types of drives that games turn on. Touchdown here could really change the dynamics. Scott on 1st and 10 at the 19, rolls, being flushed. He's going to get to the sidelines. He's going to go out of bounds at the 24. He is tackled through the sidelines, through the bench, and almost to the track, but no flag.
Loss on the play.
You can't take that sack right there, Charlie. You've got. I know you're running to your left, but throw that thing out of bounds.
It's going to be a loss of about 5 on the play. Move it back to the 23. It's called a loss of 4.
For East Mississippi.
2nd down, 14 for the Lions. 52 seconds till the halftime. Scott drops to throw. Has some time now. Late pressure up the middle. Avoids it. He's going to be flushed to his right. Keeps his eyes downfield. Now he's going to run it himself. He's going to come to the 10. He's going to get to the 5, and he's going to be stacked up at the 4. He tried to get out of bounds. I don't think he did, but he did pick up the first. It's going to be a goal-to-go situation. 39 seconds left. It's a 19-yard scramble that time for Lindsey Scott Jr.
He must have got out of bounds. The clock is stopped. Timeout's going to be called by Jones.
Wow, how about that?
Surprise.
That is their last time out of the half.
And that's going to be the last time out of the half for either team, but you understand, Jones, if you're in that situation, you obviously have to get your defense set. It's a big situation, but the last thing you want to do is give time to this offense who's in a hurry-up mode inside of a minute to play in the half. So it's a 10-7 ball game. The Lions of East Mississippi in the lead. 39 seconds to go until the halftime. Lion defense forced a punt. Got the ball back for the offense at the 1:28 mark. And after a bad punt, on a sum just 24 yards, the Lions took over at their own 33. They get a 19-yard completion, then get a 21-yard completion to get it down to the 19. And now they've got it after the run by Lindsey Scott. 1st down, goal to go at the 5. Time a factor, under a minute to play. Out of the shotgun. Scott's going to hand it to Price. He's going to try the right side. He's going to get it in the end zone and score. That is a big-time drive by the Lions. They cap it with Tyrell Price going across the right side. Boy, Glenn, everybody's thinking, put it in the air, put it in the air. And Buddy Stevens and Lions keep it on the ground, and Price just races it in.
Yeah, outstanding blocking by that offensive line, especially on that right side, as Price was able to hit the hole and go almost untouched. As Taylor Crabtree in to try the extra point, and he does. Lions lead 17-7, 35 seconds left to go in this first half of play.
Well, that is a big-time touchdown drive for a team trying to advance in the playoffs. The Lions take a 17-7 lead, 35 seconds until the halftime. So Grayson Pontius will be on the field for the Lions to kick it off. Boy, that is a 6-play drive, covers 67 yards in under a minute. And the Lions will kick it off. It'll go into the end zone. And taking a knee is the return man, Rogers. And boy, now for the Lions, just want to prevent anything over the top right here with 35 seconds. Jones with the football at their own 25, no timeouts. Boy, Glenn, it had been an offense that had sputtered a bit here today. But then some big plays in the passing game. We see the quarterback, Scott, use his legs to pick up 18, get it in a goal-to-go situation, and then 6th play of the drive. 53 seconds. Jones is going to run that fake take-a-knee type play, give it back the other way. Lions aren't fooled a bit as they hand it to Deshaun Smith. And you know, they had masked up around the football as if they were going to take a knee and then try to sneak it out to Smith going the other way. But the clock will run at 15 seconds, and one trick play has failed. Let's see if they try another. It does not appear that they will. Looks like we're going to go to the dressing room. Glenn, Lions a 17-7 lead at the half. Lions get 7 points in the first quarter. They get 10 in the second. You look back on that first half of play for the Lions, pretty good defense.
Yeah, outstanding job by the defensive line, especially on those last couple of drives. Getting a big sack was Eric Kitchen at one of the, that was probably the play of the half in my mind defensively there, Charlie, in which allowed the Lions to get the football back with enough time to carry it back down the length of the field in 53 seconds.
And then it's going to be interesting to see that last drive for the Lions perhaps light a spark in them. That was a big-time drive for the Lions. They take a 17-7 lead at the half. We'll be back in a bit. You're listening to EMCC Lion Football. County Junior College. Charlie Winfield, Glenn Beard here along with you. Looking back at that first half, it was a half that didn't see either team exactly explosive offensively. It was a 7-0 game at the end of the first quarter as Tyrell Price had a 23-yard touchdown run for the Lions to make it 7-0. 4:51 to go in the first quarter of play. In the second quarter, JC would tie things up. A 98-yard drive in just 5 plays in a minute and 48 seconds. There was a touchdown pass from Weaver to Spivey to tie it at 7. But then the Lions in their next 2 possessions would add a field goal, and then they would take over. Just a minute 28 to go in the half at their own 33, and they would put together a 6-play touchdown drive in under a minute. Tyrell Price capped it with a 5-yard touchdown run, his second score of the game, and it made it a 17-7 game at the halftime. Lions, with that 10-point lead, will kick off as second half play set to resume momentarily. Glenn Beard looking back at that first half of play. Wasn't necessarily smooth at times offensively, but the Lions were really good on defense. And then on that last drive, they just did what good teams do. They got it done.
Yeah, Charlie, I couldn't agree with you more. It's kind of like my college dating life, ugly but effective, you know. And the Lions lead 17-7 and did an outstanding job. Defensive line did. They're late in the first half of stepping up on a big third down play. Eric Kitchen, as I said earlier, steps out in my mind, giving that big sack and preserving enough time to allow the Lion offense enough time to go down the length of the field and score to make it a 2-possession ball game before we start this second half.
That's a bit of a warm day, and we've seen some guys really probably impacted by heat more than we have in several weeks. You see guys putting wet towels around their heads and things of that nature. Temperature right around 80 degrees right now, but it is a very muggy afternoon. In any event, it's a 17-7 lead for the Lions, and Crabtree will be on to kick off, or actually make that Pontius who will kick it off, and he'll send it deep into the end zone. And JC will begin play here in the second half, starting at their own 25-yard line.
A lot of football left. You know, there's no tomorrow. Everybody wants to earn the right to practice one more week. And the Lions right now leading 17-7. Charlie, they're 30 minutes away from going to another state championship. Who that will be, we don't know. The winner between Hines and Northwest. But a lot of football left here to go in Ellisville.
Yeah, and obviously the Lions want to take it one game at a time, but the Lions have still on their radar a chance at yet another national championship. A win here today should get them in a position that if they were able to win out, they would be in that ball game. But first things first, they've got to take care of business today. Weaver, the quarterback's going to stay on the ground, give it to Phillips, the Bobcat running back, who'll fight his way and still refusing to go down. And it's just a pile of players, and he has carried it all the way out to the 39-yard line and now to the 40. He was stacked up after a gain of 5 at the 30. And there were 20 people in a pile as he just carried it all the way out across the 40.
Wow, I am really surprised that the referees allowed that mass of humanity to go that long, Charlie. That's just really surprising to me. But as you said, that was a 10 extra yards. They had him, it would have been second down and about 7, but it ended up being a first down.
Gain of 15 on the play, 1st and 10 from the 40. Chris Weaver, the sophomore quarterback out of Bay Minette, Alabama. Standing in the shotgun, he's got 2 receivers to the left. Offsets a running back that direction, and now he's going to go on the toss, give it to Phillips, who's going to avoid a tackle in the backfield and fight his way forward for a gain of 5 yards. Lions had good penetration upfield, but the running back, Scott Phillips, the sophomore out of Ellisville, just carried it forward. They're going to give him a gain of 4 out to the 44, bring up second down and 6.
Eric Kitchen was in a position right there, Charlie, to make a tackle in the backfield, just missed opportunity, allowed the back to get away from him, and turned into a positive play for the Bobcats.
We are in the second half of play, early third quarter, 13:38 to go. Lions of EMCC, a 17-7 lead. Weaver's going to go off the bootleg pass, complete at the 43-yard line on the Lions side of the field. He got it to Jonas Spivey, and that's going to be a first down once more for JCJC as they have a gain of 13 yards on the play, move it to the Lion 43.
Spivey and Parham, the two big offensive weapons for Jones. I think they're the only two wide receivers that's had catches today, but they've had a lot.
Parham led the team in receptions coming in. He had 39. Next closest guy had 13. But Spivey getting involved here today for the Bobcats. Weaver out of the shotgun. Broken play, but he's going to pull it down, keeping himself, and race it to the 40. He's going to have a gain of a little more than 2 yards, but he went to the left. His running back went to the right, and I think just wisely got up the field, got what he could earn out of the play, and moves it to the 41.
Charlie, I got to point out, Kilo Sweeney outside the defensive back, 6', 190-pound freshman from Yazoo County High School, did an outstanding job of pressing the chop block out wide as they tried to cut him. He pressed it down and was able to make the tackle on the quarterback, 2nd down and 7 from the 39.
Lions in a 4-2 defensive look as Weaver drops to throw, and now under some pressure tries to throw back to Phillips out of the backfield. Didn't get it to him, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and 7. Pretty good coverage and pretty good pressure that time by the Lions. And so they'll do it all over again. This time it'll be 3rd down at the 41. EMCC, the number 2 seed out of the north, on the road today. The number 1 seeded Bobcat football team, JCJC out of the south. These teams trying to win and advance to a state championship game next week. And JCJC with the ball at the 43. Weaver is going to pull it down. He's going to run it himself. He's going to get down to the 34 and all the way to the 33. Let's see. It's going to depend on the spot, but he is going to be close to the first down. If he doesn't have it, he's certainly going to be in that position where you'd have to think about going for it, but they're not going to have to think. It's going to be a first down. Marking at the 33, a gain of 8. And now Weaver off play action is going to throw. It's complete. It's coming down to the 30 for a gain of a couple. And that looked like Parham again that they got it to. And why not? He's got about 10 catches so far today. That's going to be a gain of about 4 yards, bring up 2nd and 6 as they'll mark the football at the 29-yard line. Lions dressed today in all white, save for the red numerals and markings. Jones kind of has that old USC look today, those dark yellow pants and maroon jerseys, maroon headgear. And Weaver out of the shotgun is going to go off play action, throw back to Spivey, or actually make that Morris, who's going to have a gain of about 5 yards. They gave the look as if they were going to go to the right and then threw back to the left side, and Morris catches it, and it's going to bring up 3rd and short.
That had me fooled up here in the booth, Charlie. I looked like a quick toss all the way, but Weaver was able to pull it back real quick, throw the hitch on that wide side, or that short side of the field, rather.
So 3rd down and 3 now as the football sits at the Lion 26-yard line. Lions a 17-7 lead, but the Bobcats of Jones threatening. And now Weaver out of the shotgun is going to give it to Phillips. He's going to be stacked up. He's going to be dropped. And getting back there to make the play, Tyree Evans for the Lions. He's going to drop it for a loss, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Jones doesn't seem to be bringing out the field goal unit, so they're going to go for it here on 4th down from the 30.
Big play in this ball game, 4th down and 6. As Weaver off play action is going to look to throw. He's going to fire it up. It's going to be caught at the 24, but I don't think that's enough.
He's short, Charlie. He caught it. Parham caught it on the near sideline at around the 24-yard line, but I think he had to get to the 23. He caught it, and he caught it out of bounds.
Coaching staff along the near side wanting to argue the spot, but it is even winning the argument, it's not enough. And the Lion defense does its job once more, and they hold, and they'll get the ball back for this Lions offense. And you look back, Glenn, this Lions defense today, they forced a punt, a turnover on downs, recovered a fumble, another turnover on downs. They do give up the touchdown on the trick play, but then force a punt. And now another turnover on down. So about all you could ask for out of this Lions defense here today.
Absolutely. Really have picked up the efficiency on 3rd and 4th downs, as I think that's the 2nd time on the day, as you said, turnover on downs.
Lions will take over at their own 24, moving right to left, and they're going to stay on the ground. Give it to Mark, who's going to fumble. It's going to be loose, and it's going to be recovered out along the 33, but the official coming in, I think he's going to rule that he was down. Let's see. Boy, Jones thought they had it recovered, but the line judge from across the way, Glenn, was running down, emphatically pointing at the ground, and that can only mean one thing. But boy, I thought that ball was out, to be candid. Now the officials are going to huddle up and talk it over. Lions offense lining up as if they are going to quickly be back on the football. Well, Jones had all but celebrated a recovery.
Rick Mitchell's crew really had a tough time today on a couple of calls. Now they're going to give it to Jones, it looks like, as Jones' defense comes sprinting off the field.
Well, how does a official come in that emphatically pointing to the ground and then get overruled? This is the 2nd time today that Buddy Stevens has been somewhat and rightfully exasperated with a play, or rather an official's call. But nevertheless, I thought they got it right, to be candid. And that's going to be Jones' ball at the 33. And now you have to call upon that defense once more. So 10-10 to go. We are in the 3rd quarter play. The Lions of EMCC leading 17-7. But now their defense with their backs against the wall after the turnover. The Bobcats take over at the 33-yard line. And Weaver will be back in the ball game at quarterback. We've seen a 2-quarterback system today. He's going to hand it to Phillips, who's going to push his way down to about the 28-yard line. They'll give him maybe the 29, but it's going to be a gain of about 5 yards on 1st down.
Offensive line got a good push right there for Jones. Defense, got to be a little bit winded. Didn't get much time to rest over on that far sideline before that turnover.
And Jones held it for 10 plays the prior drive, unable to score. But as you say, the defense has to get right back out there, just one play of rest. And Weaver's going to go off play action. He's going to set up, fire down the field. It's going to go incomplete. Boy, had a defensive back breaking on it that time for the Lions. That was Ty Williams. Yeah, Ty ball's brought down. It may go the other way.
Oh, it had gone the other way, and going the other way a long way for the touchdown. Had Ty been able to bring that one down, because there was nothing but green grass ahead of him. But just out of the reach, it goes incomplete. Big 3rd down coming up, though, Charlie. That's kind of been my MO of the day. Get off the field on 3rd down. Big 3rd down and 6 facing the defense. Ball on the 29. And as we've seen before, Jones will go for it on 4th down.
They'll put 3 receivers to the left. They're going to work off play action again. Pressure on the quarterback, Weaver. He's hit. He's dropped back at the 38-yard line. Getting back there for the Lions to make the initial pressure on the play was Cole Baker, but then he got help from a host of others.
Just as I got it out of my mouth, they'll go for it on 4th down, Charlie, but after a big sack like that, they run the punting unit out. Ball is on the 38-yard line.
Loss of 9 on the play.
You've got to be wary of the fake, because you are on your own end of the field.
DJ Clayton for the Lions will stand at the 5 in punt return formation. It is a fake. They're going to throw it downfield. It's going to go incomplete. And there's a flag down. Let's see. The flag is back at the 42-yard line behind the play.
Jones had nothing to lose by going for it right there on 4th down or the fake. And as I said, when you're on that end of the field, even if you don't get it, that's still, your defense isn't in a bind very much right there. But they go for the fake, and punter tried to throw it to the wide receiver. Wasn't much deception to it, if you will.
Well, that's the second possession of this half for Jones. It's the second turnover on downs. And how about this? The Lions turned it over at the 30. They get it back at the 39. Their defense actually gained on position. Lions going to hand it to Tyrell Price. He's going to try the middle. He's going to get to midfield, and he's going to be slung forward for a first down. Lions starting to get some traction now running the football between the tackles.
Tyrell did an outstanding job right there of keeping his feet moving after contact, and he picked up 10 yards plus the first down.
Gets the football to midfield. Lindsey Scott Jr., the quarterback's going to keep it himself, and he's going to be dropped for a loss of 3 yards back at his own 47. Trying to keep it across the right side, but, boy, that one just never really got started for the Lions.
Got a timeout on the field.
Yeah, got a man down.
Looks like a Bobcat cramping.
Yeah, we talked about that, Glenn. You know, we've had most of these games here the past several weeks have been at night. Most of them have been in cooler weather. And now you see a couple of teams playing more or less in what you'll call the heat of the day. It's about 80 degrees. It's quite humid. And it's kind of a little bit of an adjustment back to those August and September days. You don't always think about cramps this time of year, but looks as if they will be a factor here today. Lions offense back out on the football field. They'll put 3 receivers to the right side. Price is the running back. He's to the left. As the Bobcats show blitz, and we're going to have some movement in the middle of the field. We're also going to have some conversation, shall we say, between the respective defensive and offensive fronts. And let's see, it's going to be a question of whether the Lions moved or whether they were induced to do so, and the Lions moved. That's going to be a false start against the Lions of East Mississippi. It's going to move the football back to the 42.
So Lions got a second down and long facing them. Ball on the 42-yard line, as Charlie said, on that far hash.
Yeah, second down and 18. As Scott's going to drop the throw under heavy pressure, he's just going to have to get it away. He's got Drummond down there. He made the catch. What an absolutely beautiful catch by Dontario Drummond, the freshman out of Laurel. Boy, he was defended well. He just got inside the defensive back, and I don't know how he pulled that one down. That was Derek Hawthorne. He got inside, and the Lions have it now at the 25-yard line. And Scott's going to drop the throw down. He's going to have to pull it down. He's going to come back to the 25 with it. As Jonathan Haynes got up to make the tackle, he got back to the line of scrimmage. That was about all.
Yeah, a lot of running for no gain right there, but did an outstanding job preventing the sack. Second down coming up from the 25 for the Lions. Ball will be on the near hash, going from right to left.
It was a gain of 33 yards on that pass play, and well, you got to really tip your hat to Drummond. And Scott, who just threw it where only one guy had a chance to get it, his own guy. Second down 10 as the Bobcats show blitz. Now back away, and Scott's going to be dropped back at the 33. It's going to be a loss of 8. And right now, Glenn, it looks like that Lion offensive front a little bit confused, and now people are a little bit upset. We're going to have unsportsmanlike conduct on one of these two teams. Flag came down right in the middle of a couple of youngsters expressing their disagreements with one another.
Maybe offsetting.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's going to be offsetting unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. So it'll have no impact on this particular play, but what that means is, with each of them having one, the next one would be an ejection on either of those particular players. 6:55 to go, by the way, in the third quarter. Lions a 17-7 lead. They're threatening at the 32-yard line on the Bobcat side of the football field. Scott's in the shotgun. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left side. 5 down defensive linemen for Jones. Scott's going to break pressure. Now he's going to try to get back to the 30. He's going to spin off a tackle, get to the 25, get down to the 23. It's going to be a gain of 10 yards. It's going to have still a long ways to go for the first. It's going to be 4th down and about 9, but now at the 24, do you think about a field goal or do you keep your offense out there?
Well, it looks like East Mississippi's keeping the offense out on the field.
So it's going to be 4th down and 9 at the 24. No sign of a field goal kicker here. Lions a 17-7 lead. 6:03 to go in the third, hoping to add to it, but they're going to have a big conversion. Drummond is the wide man to the near side. They got press coverage on him. He's won that battle a few times. Lions going to fake the reverse. Now they're going to step up and they're going to throw an interception to a defensive lineman. Coming back to the 40, coming back to the 50, being tackled at the 46-yard line on the Lions side of the football field. Well, he was just trying to get rid of the football, but he threw it into the hands of Deshaun Crawford, a freshman defensive lineman out of Bay Springs, and the big man got it back into Lion territory, got it all the way down to the 45.
Just unfortunate right there, turn of events. Lindsey just trying to do a little too much on that play. Jones, defensive end on that side, the whole drive was in the backfield every time. And the Lions went with a little bit different look with some wide receiver coming in deep motion, faking the reverse there. However, it just didn't slow them up very much, and Lindsey with a turnover.
We'll see that second quarterback in the ball game. Dietrich Hawthorne is in, and he's going to hand it to the running back trying the right side, coming up for a gain of a couple of yards on the play. And now they're going to give him second effort, by the way, all the way down to the 40. So make it a gain of 5 on the play. That was Deshaun Smith, the running back. And we have seen Jones today use 2 quarterbacks with significant playing time, a couple of running backs getting significant playing time. Smith, the second of those guys, but I certainly wouldn't call him the lesser. He's a nice back, has a gain of 5, makes a second down and 5. The Bobcats are at the EMCC 40. They'll put twin receivers left, twin to the right side. Lions in a 4-2. Put a man in motion. Hawthorne, though, is going to keep it himself, running back against the motion. Come down to the 37-yard line. It'll be a gain of 3, and now we're going to have another flag.
And that one should go against Hawthorne. As he got up, he shoved the defensive lineman from East Mississippi. I would be shocked if it's offsetting penalties there, but that one ought to completely be on Hawthorne.
Officials are going to meet to talk about it across the way. And the head referee, Rick Mitchell, will share the call.
Number 8 on Jones. The penalty will be enforced at the end of the run. It was after the play, so the down.
And Charlie, as I tell my wife, I was right.
Well, that's going to be a penalty against Hawthorne, the quarterback, and that's a big one. Instead of having the football down around the 33, it's going to be enforced all the way back to the 48-yard line on the Bobcats' own side of the football field, and it was after the play, so it will be 3rd down. 3rd down and about 16 to go. And Weaver will be back in the ball game at quarterback, and he's going to drop straight to throw. He's under some pressure. Rolling to his right, sets up, fires across his body. It's complete. That should be a first down. He got it all the way down to the 33. Yeah, and that was Jonas Spivey who made the catch and did a nice job of using his hands to go up and grab the football out of the air. And boy, that was a really nice job by Weaver that time, throwing across his body. 1st and 10 at the 33. It's a gain of better than 15 yards. Stay on the ground. Give it to Smith. He's going to try the left side and get down to the 26. That's a gain of 6 yards. And now the Bobcats playing with a little more spirit offensively. 2nd down and 4 at the Lion 26. And again, they'll go off play action, complete the pass to the near side to Rogers. He'll get to the 23-yard line. It appears. It's going to depend on where they mark him out. They're going to get him near the 22. So it's a 17-7 game. East Mississippi leading, 3:51 to go in the 3rd quarter. But the Bobcats of JC on the move. They've got it at the 22-yard line. First down after the gain of 4.
Yeah, they're knocking on the door, Charlie, but East Mississippi's Lion defense has stood up tall when their backs against the wall earlier today several times. Let's see if they can do it again.
Forced a pair of turnover on downs here in the third quarter. And this time they're going to hand it to Smith. He's going to try the middle. He's going to be stacked up at around the 20. They'll get him the 19 on forward progress. Aaron Boatwright got there for the Lions. 6'5", 235 defensive lineman. And that's going to bring up second down and 7 after the gain of 3. And Weaver wants to go the air. He's got a man open and he overthrew him. Oh, he had a man wide open. It would have been an easy walk into the end zone for Spivey, and Weaver just sailed the pass.
Yeah, they went trips receivers to the wide side, tight, bunched up, and then they scattered like a covey of quail, and the defensive back just kind of got lost. The wide receiver was able to break loose, and he was all by his lonesome self. However, Hawthorne just overthrew his man. It's going to bring up second down. The scoreboard shows second down, but the down marker shows third down.
Yeah, third down and 7. And Weaver wants to throw. He's under pressure. He's going to be hit. He's going to be dropped. First man they got back there was Tyree Evans. Now, a lot of pressure that time. He also had Eric Kitchen in there. Boy, you call out a bunch of names, Glenn. Everett Cunningham was back there. There was a defensive line meeting at the side of the quarterback on that play, and that's going to bring up 4th and 12, and now the Bobcats are going to look at a 42-yard field goal attempt.
Third down efficiency has really picked up, been outstanding by the defensive side of the football for East Mississippi.
Crozy will attempt the 42-yarder. The kick is up. It is no good.
Wide right, laces out, Dan.
And boy, how about this Lion defense here today? They played a really good first half, and here in the second half, they give up a 10-play drive on the opening series, but force the turnover on downs. They see Jones take over at the Lion 33, and they force a turnover on downs with their backs against the wall, and that time on a short field, force the missed field goal. Lions get it back, 2:09 to go in the third. Gonna hand it to Tyrell Price around the right side. He's got the 30, he gets out to the 36. They'll give him all the way to the 37. That's a first down run, and now the big man starting to get involved in the running game.
Yeah, that was an outstanding run on that stretch play, or outside zone rather. Tyrell Price, he's a big dude when he runs on that side.
First and 10 Lions at the 37-yard line. Lindsey Scott Jr. is going to give it to him again, and Price is going to come across the 40, get to the 41. That'll be a gain of about 4 yards on the play.
Offensive line really controlling the line of scrimmage on those run plays, Charlie. Makes them so effective. Anytime you come up with second down and 6, you know, that makes play calling a whole lot easier on your offensive coordinator.
This time Scott's going to fake it to Price, keep it himself. He's going to come to the 45, slide down at the 40. Mark him down, going into the slide at the 45, bring up third down and about 2. Boy, you understand the slide there, Glenn, but you'd like 2 more yards.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stay out of this 3rd and 2, but now you're in a 3rd and short. Tyrell Price is going to have it. He's going to have the first down. He's going to get to midfield, and he's going to push his way just inside Bobcat territory. We'll call it the 50.
The thing is, as East Mississippi has done pretty much all this half, Jones gets real blitz happy on 3rd down, and East Mississippi's been able to handle that blitz.
We're going to give it to Jamori Mark, the running back this time, and he's going to have a gain of about 3 yards across the right side as he gets down to the 47-yard line on the Bobcat side of the football field. Now, he talked about a change of pace back. You've got a starting running back in Price, 6'2", 220, and then there's backup Mark, 5'8", 170. So you've got a couple of inches and about 50 pounds difference. But Mark really a speedster. They're going to fake it to him this time, and Scott's going to avoid the pressure and get down to about the 46, got a yard. But boy, it has been really tough in the pocket today for the quarterback, Lindsey Scott Jr. for the Lions. Just not a lot of time to stand back there.
No, it's not, Charlie. As Jones's defensive ends, especially on that left side, number 45, Brandon Young. He's done a good job, and that's the third quarter comes to an end. The Lions lead 17-7. 1 quarter left to go here in this playoff game.
Lions trying to advance to a state championship game. They've got 15 minutes left to do it. We're going to take 30 seconds, come back, get set for the fourth quarter of play. You're listening to EMCC Lion Football. Scott Jr., the quarterback, working out of the shotgun, 3rd down and 7. He wants to throw the football, and he will, and it's going to go incomplete. It was batted around. Jones had a chance to intercept it. He was trying to get the football to Kurt Merritt. That's going to bring up 4th down. And so the Lions will get their punt unit out on the field.
Grayson Pontius will come in with another opportunity to pin the Bobcats inside the 10-yard line. He did a perfectly executed punt earlier that dropped down, and the Lions were able to down on the 2-yard line. Let's see if he can do it again.
He will stand in punt formation back along his own 38-yard line. He's going to send an end-over-end kick. Well, this one's going to be fielded by Spivey. He's going to come to the 20, get to the 30, he'll be hit hard at the 34. And that was Tyree Evans who got down to make the tackle in punt coverage on Spivey, but that's not the field position you wanted after the punt there.
Really surprised right there. The punt coverage unit didn't get down the field, but about 15 yards after the punt. Of course, the punt was pretty poor, Charlie, but the coverage there, the coverage team has got to get off their horse there and get on down the field to kind of nullify those returns in that situation.
Jones will take over at their 34, working off play action. The quarterback going to fire downfield. He's going to miss everybody. Weaver had Parham around the 45, but the pass landed around the 35. And now Weaver is down, and the offensive lineman calling for the training staff here.
Penalty flag goes against the Lions. That's going to be Lorenzo Dantzler. They're going to have roughing the passer. So we'll have an injured Bobcat down on the field. That is Weaver. And they're going to take a few seconds to tend to him. While they do, let's take a few seconds as well. Back in 30 seconds, you're listening to the EMCC Football.
Ball game, the Lions of EMCC, a 17-7 lead. They led it 7-0 at the end of a quarter, led it 17-7 at the half. Neither team able to put any lights on the board in the third quarter. Right now, though, the issue at hand is Chris Weaver, the quarterback for JCJC, is being tended to back along the 25-yard line. There was a big hit put on him, and he is having some trouble making his way back to his feet right now. And Glenn, we had a penalty. I believe it was a roughing the passer call.
Yeah, it was roughing the passer rather than a targeting.
And so that's going to move the football out to the 49-yard line. And Weaver leaving the field with some assistance. He is up and walking, but he has arms under each shoulder trying to help him stay upright. Just took a bit of a shot, and he's just going to need a little time to gather himself, I would expect. Weaver, a big kid, at least in terms of size, 6'2", 223. And they're going to tend to him on the sidelines. Hawthorne will be back in the ballgame at quarterback, but we're going to have a false start before play can resume. Well, Glenn, you look at the situation right now. If you're JC, you've got you can call him your backup quarterback, but Hawthorne plays a lot of football for you. He's a dynamic runner. What are you looking to do here with him to try to cut into this Lion lead?
Well, he's been the guy that kind of does a little zone read stuff and is more of the runner between the two quarterbacks.
He's going to go off the bootleg this time. He's going to fire deep down the field. He's got a man. It's batted away at the last minute. Well, he had DeAndre Champagne running in one-on-one coverage, but the Lions that time got a defensive back there to break that one up.
That was outstanding coverage by Ty Williams, Charlie, as he, there at the last second, it looked like he was beat deep, but when the wide receiver goes up with his hands to catch it, you teach your DBs to put your hands through their hands, and he did that perfectly, knocked the football away there at the last second. Second down coming up.
And again, off the bootleg pass, and that's Hawthorne dancing around, making a man miss, scrambling, now firing incomplete. He was getting chase from Lorenzo Dantzler. Dantzler did a nice job staying at home on the backside that time.
He really did, and Hawthorne, as we see, Charlie, he is the more mobile of the two quarterbacks, a lot more shifty than Weaver.
And Weaver has his shoulder pads off on the near sideline, so given that we are in the fourth quarter, would not expect to see him again today. Third down, 15, Hawthorne out of the gun, is going to keep it on the quarterback draw, is going to come to the 50, he's going to push off a tackler, he's going to get inside Lion territory and get down just inside the 40. That's going to be a first down. Boy, he just took a direct snap, raced it up the field, had a gain of 16 yards and a first down. And they're going to mark it all the way down at the 39, make it a gain of 17. On the play for Dietrich Hawthorne, the sophomore out of Collins. He wants to go to the air, it's going to be batted away. Looked like somebody on that defensive front when the Lions got their hands up. Boatwright might have been that guy.
I think he was, Charlie. Had he not, though, Denzel Bonner was underneath the route, and he probably would have had a pick six.
Second down 10 for the Bobcats at the Lion 39. Lions clinging to a 17-7 lead here in the ballgame. As the Bobcats threaten, this time they're going to give it to Phillips, and Phillips is going to fight his way down inside the 35, down to the 33, and that's going to be a gain of about 6, maybe 7 on the play.
Got an injured Lion on the far side there, Charlie.
Yeah, and it looks as if that's going to be Cole Baker, the sophomore defensive lineman out of Birmingham. And so as he is tended to on the field, let's take 30 seconds. You're listening to EMCC Lion Football. Third down and 3 for the Bobcats at Jones, but we're going to have the officials step in and blow this one dead.
Flags on the play.
I'm not sure what this is going to be. Now the officials.
There is no foul. The play was never. The play clock was never set.
So the play clock was never set. No foul on the play. And that's going to bring up third down and 3. So the football is at the Lion 32-yard line. Third down and 3 for the Bobcats of Jones. East Mississippi a 17-7 lead. 13:28 to go in the ball game. Clock running. Hawthorne is going to hand it to Phillips, trying the right side. He's going to have the first down and more. He's going to get down to the 20. And that's going to be a gain of some 13 yards. And now they go down to the 20-yard line on the Lions side of the field. Hawthorne quickly has his team back to the line of scrimmage. He's going to give it to Phillips again. He's going to push his way down to the 19 and is going to be hit at that spot. Not much doing on the play. Lions got good penetration along that defensive front. Griffin among those there. That's going to bring up second down and 9.
They're going to go tempo here.
Hawthorne quickly back to the line of scrimmage. He's going to hand it to Phillips again, and Phillips is going to push his way down to the 15. It'll be gain of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up third down and about 5 to go. Well, Scott Phillips, 5'9", 205 out of Ellisville. He's a nice-looking running back. The guy who really gets up the field. But he will be out of the game here on third down and 5, and Deshaun Smith will check in for the Bobcats. It'll be to the right side of the quarterback, Hawthorne. He's going to fake it to him, keep it himself, push his way inside the 10 and down to the 5. That's a first down, and he'll have Jones in a goal-to-go situation at the EMCC 5-yard line. Gain of 10 on the play.
First down, Bobcats. First and goal to go.
First down, 5 to go. Stay on the ground. Give it to Smith, who's going to push his way down to about the 2-yard line.
Deshaun Smith, the ball carrier.
That'll be second down and goal.
Dangerously close to the end zone. Clock still rolling, 11:35 and counting.
Hawthorne's going to take the snaps, going to keep it himself, going to push, going to drive. And I think he's going to score the touchdown, and he has. And this one is getting tighter here in Ellisville. 13th point of the ball game on the board for the Bobcats at Jones. An extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
Lion defense just was kind of back on their heels there when they went with Hawthorne at quarterback. He brings in a little bit different look for Jones. He's more of the runner between the two quarterbacks, and that's what he did majority of as they were able to move the ball down the field rather rapidly, as Jones will come in and try the extra point.
Crozy will attempt it. The hold is down. The kick is up. It is good. We've got a 17-14 ball game, 11:23 to go. The Lions of East Mississippi in the lead, but this one far from over. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to the EMCC Radio Network. Off, it'll be a fair catch for the Lions, and that's Daniel Kroll Jr., who will haul it in at about the 29-yard line. That'll mark him down at the 28. So EMCC's offense will take over, and Glenn Beard, 11:23 to go in this football game. You just saw Jones go on a 12-play drive, 66 yards, 3 minutes and 22 seconds. And now, if you're East Mississippi, you got to think about answering here. And the quarterback, Scott, is under heavy pressure. He's dropped back at the 22, all the way back to 16. Actually, there's going to be a flag down. Let's see who this one's going to be against. Looked like some movement along the line of scrimmage. I'm just not sure who moved.
The penalty is 5 yards.
Well, it's a break for the Lions. It's going to be offsides against the Bobcats. And so that will be a 5-yard penalty. Move the football out to the 33. Be first down and 5 for the Lions. So the quarterback, Lindsey Scott Jr., will work out of the shotgun. He's got the running back, Jamori Mark, set to his right. He's got twin receivers each way. 4 defensive linemen are going to come on the blitz. They're going to complete the pass out to the 42. Fighting his way out near the 45 is Kurt Merritt. Merritt just on a crossing route that time, able to make the catch, race it forward for the first down. And a gain of 12 yards out to the 45.
Score update in Northwest. Rangers leading Hines 13-0.
First down 10, Lions at the 45. Going to give it to Mark, and he's going to get through the first wave and fight his way out to the 48-yard line. That's going to be about it. They may give him the 49 on forward progress. It'll be a gain of 4. Got a little quick hitter up the middle that time. Clock continuing to roll. You're in the opening round of the MAC-JC playoffs. Lions trying to get to the championship game, hoping to win another state championship, but they've got work to do. They lead 17-14. They have the football. Give it to Mark. He'll get into Bobcat territory at the 49-yard line. It's a gain of about 3 on the play. That's going to bring up third down and 3.
Big third down facing the offense right now for the Lions. Ball just across midfield in Jones territory at the 49.
So a big third down play here for the Lions. Scott's going to drop the throw. Heavy pressure. Steps up, avoids it. Going to be flush to the pocket. Going to fire downfield. It's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Connor, who was down around the 33, but he was being defended heavily and couldn't haul it in. Well, I thought for a moment that Scott might have a chance to run for it. That's going to bring up fourth down, and it's going to be a punting situation for the Lions. And Pontius will come onto the field.
Need a good punt right here to pin the Bobcats deep.
Well, it's Lions needed a drive to answer, couldn't come up with it. Now they'll have to punt it away. And Pontius will send a kick. It's a high driving spiral. Fair catch will be signaled for and taken at the 6-yard line by Spivey. And so Jones will have a lot of green in front of him, but Glenn, we saw him earlier in this ballgame, a 98-yard drive in just 5 plays. This time they'll have to go about 93. They're going to mark it at the 7. 9:39 to go in the football game. The Lions of East Mississippi leading 17-14 over the Bobcats of Jones. So the Bobcats will get their offensive unit back out on the football field. Dietrich Hawthorne will be the quarterback. They'll work out of the shotgun. He's going to hand the football to his running back Phillips, who's going to push his way out to the 10-yard line. Lions are going to get Cole Baker over to make the tackle. The defensive lineman shaken up earlier, now back in the football game. Gain of 3 on the play. Bring up second down and 7. 9:20 to go. Lions a lead of 17-14. Hawthorne going to keep it himself off the play fake, is going to come out to the 15-yard line. Be a gain of 5 yards, not enough for the first down. Tyree Evans, the guy who got there to make the tackle. That's going to bring up 3rd down and about 3 to go. And Glenn, how many times have we said it's a big 3rd down? This is among the biggest right now.
Absolutely, and as the clock continues to roll, 3rd downs get bigger from here on out, especially with just a 3-point lead the Lions are holding on to. 17-14 your score, 8:35 and counting.
3rd down and 3 to go. Hawthorne is going to keep it himself. He's going to be hit, and he's not going to get there. Nice job by the Lions that time. Cole Baker got through, as did Aaron Boatwright, and that's going to bring up 4th down. I think they might have lost a yard.
Now the Lions are going to have an opportunity for some good field position right here, as Jones will have to punt this football away. Punter standing just across his end zone, into his own end zone.
Has the snap, and he will get a punt away. It's a high driving spiral. Nice kick. It's going to send the return man back to the 25-yard line. Coming back is Clayton. He's going to get to the 30, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds at that spot. Boy, you thought you would get some really good field position, but that was a nice punt.
Boy, he really boomed that ball. Did an outstanding job. And then I'll tell you what, though, the returner for East Mississippi did an outstanding job of going back and catching that football rather than letting it hit, because it probably could have gone inside the 20.
It's a 61-yard kick, a 5-yard return. 7:43 now to go in the football game. The Lions with a big offensive series. They take over at their own 30, leading by a field goal 17-14. A touchdown here, you perhaps put this game away, or go a long way towards doing so. 3 and out could be dangerous. Stay on the ground, give it to Price, and he's going to pick and fight, and now lower his shoulder and push his way out to the 35-yard line, a gain of 5.
Right here, Charlie, the Lions are going to have to be patient as the Bobcats, I know Dwight Wilson, the defensive coordinator from Jones, he is going to get blitz happy as the clock winds down. He's going to try to make something happen, force a turnover here or there. If you'll just be patient, pick up those blitzes, you'll have opportunity for a big play.
Tyrell Price will get the handoff, and he's going to fight his way to the 40, get the first down, and get out to the 44-yard line. And, you know, it's that time of the ball game where you like to have a big running back, and right now you've got one who's fresh in Tyrell Price. Taking advantage, he has a 9-yard carry to follow up the 5-yarder on the prior play.
Price would have a saddle on right now if I were the offensive coordinator.
6:53 clock running. They're going to give it to him again, and this time he's going to be stacked up, but he ran into a wall of tacklers for Jones County. They absolutely got 4 guys into the backfield that time, and Price lost a yard. It'll bring up 2nd down and 11, and losing a yard was about as good as he could do.
Yeah, but that's perfectly fine. Clock's going to continue to count down. 6:25 and counting.
Scott out of the shotgun, under pressure, setting up a screen. It's going to be good bobble, but then caught. And coming forward is Mark. He's going to get to the 40, cut it back to the 30, to the 20-yard line. Tackled there. Boy, you saw that pressure come just completely unabated, and then you realize that the Lions were setting up a screen pass.
Yeah, Jones was in the blitz right there. As I told you earlier, that's what's fixing to happen a lot. And offensive coordinator dialed up a perfect play call. Jamori Mark did an outstanding job of concentrating on the football. He bobbled it a little bit, but made the catch. The big play happened.
Gain of 38. This time Mark will get it running, and he's going to come down to the 18. A gain of about a yard on the play. When you go back to that catch by Mark on the screen pass, you're exactly right, Glenn. That was one, he struggled to make the catch, but he stayed with it. Secured the football before he tried to get upfield. Now it's 2nd down and 9. Lions in the red zone at the 18-yard line. Quarterback Scott's going to keep it himself, and he's going to fight, and he's going to lower his shoulder and get down to about the 13-yard line. Nothing fancy that time, just snapped it to Scott, and he got up the field, picks up 5. That's going to bring up 3rd down, and we'll call it 4 to go. Football inside the 15-yard line, it's down at the 13. Now we got a flag. And let's see what this is about. It was a flag thrown high by the referee. The officials meeting, they're talking it over. And Glenn, did you get any idea what this penalty is going to be?
I have no clue, Charlie. The Lions were lining up and looked as if they were going to go through their play calls there and chew up a little clock. Then all of a sudden,
I tried to do a quick count of numbers. It looked like there were only 11 on the field each way. But we're not the only ones confused. The officiating crew still talking about it. But here's the situation. 17-14, the Lions of EMCC in the lead. 5:08 to play here in this semifinal game. Winner will go to the state championship in a week, most likely playing at Northwest. And now Rick Mitchell is going to come over to the home sideline and explain it to the Jones County coaching staff. The football currently sits at the 13-yard line, and it would be a 3rd down, about 3 to go. And now we'll see an official go over and talk to Buddy Stevens. Well, plenty of time to talk things out later. Let's get the play call.
they're not marking it off either way.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to pick it up here. Let's see. Well, the microphone cut out, and what we got from all that was a sideline warning on Jones. Well, 8.5 minutes later, we unpack the sideline warning that has no impact on the ball game. And now they're going to have to get Buddy Stevens off the field across the way, or the Lions are going to get a sideline warning. He was coaching from the hash mark right then. So here we go. 3rd down, 4 to go. The football is at the 13-yard line, Jones County side of the football field. And now the officials are going to go back to the Lions coaching staff to talk some more.
I think he's wanting an explanation from referee Rick Mitchell.
And he is giving an explanation. I'm not sure it's going to be one with which he is satisfied.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're going over supper plans for later.
Well, they are talking about it across the way, but in any event, play will resume momentarily. 5:08 to go in this football game. The Lions of EMCC a 17-14 lead. They've got the football at the 13-yard line on the Jones side of the football field, but they face a 3rd down and a long 3. We're going to call it 4.
Critical 3rd down coming up for the Lions. Ball on the 13-yard line, far hash, going from left to right.
Tyrell Price is the running back. He's to the left of the quarterback. Scott, who's in the shotgun, awaits the snap. Now he has it. He's going to pull it out, keep it himself. He's going to run for the 1st down. He's going to get down to the 7-yard line, and the tackle is going to come in high, and we're going to have a flag. That might have been a face mask right there.
Face mask, horse collar, take your pick there, Charlie, as they get Lindsey Scott on that sideline. He has enough for the 1st down, but he went out of bounds, so the clock will stop. 4:50 to go. It'll be 1st down and goal from looks to be about the 7-yard line.
And Scott's got to come out of the ball game. He was injured on the play. So Demorius Connor is going to check in at quarterback. Goal to go situation for the Lions. Inside the 5-yard line, Connor getting his first snaps at quarterback today. He's going to hand the football to Price, and he's going to get his way down to the 1. He's 2nd down and goal from that spot.
Clock rolling, 4:30 and counting. Coaches from East Mississippi wanting to go tempo right here.
Second down, a yard to go, and they're going to stay on the ground. Price is going to fall down, back at the 4. He took the handoff and he fell down. They were trying to catch a player still on the field for Jones, and I thought they did, but I haven't seen. Yep, there's the flag in the corner. There's the flag in the corner. They just got it off before he cleared the sideline, and boy, you can see head coach Steve Buckley is.
Okay, Charlie, let's debate here. Ball is on the 1 yard line. All right, clock is rolling in your favor. It's second and goal from the 1. What do we accomplish right there, getting the penalty?
Well, in retrospect, the only thing that happened is you are able to negate the fact that Price fell down at the 5, but otherwise,
keep that clock rolling, chew it up as much as possible, and get the touchdown.
Absolutely. Low snap is going to be fumbled. It's going to be picked up by Jones. There's a flag where they offsides. That would be the only hope right here. The ball rolled back to the quarterback, and Jones had jumped on it, but there was a flag thrown, and it's offsides on Jones. Boy, the breaks of the football. Boy, talk about a break, and now it's going to be second down and goal. This is the point, though, Glenn. If your defense right here, you can afford to take some gambles, because what is a penalty? It means nothing.
That's right. Pin your ears back. Try to jump the snap.
Yeah, you're inside of inches to go anyway. This time it's a clean snap, and this time the quarterback's going to be tackled back at the 2. Lindsey Scott took the snap, fell to the ground as he tried to make a cut.
Third and goal to go.
It's going to be third down and goal to go for the Lions of East Mississippi. They're at the 2 on the Jones Bobcat side of the football field. 17-14 the score, 3:48 to go in the ball game. Lions with the lead, the clock is running. They face a third down and goal. Tyrell Price, the running back, to the right side. Scott is going to hand it to him. Price is going to fight, is going to lower his head, is not going to get there. He's going to get down to the 2, and he is going to be stacked up. As coming through on the play was Rashawn Marcel.
Decision time, Charlie. Fourth down and goal from the 3. You lead by 3 points. My opinion, you kick the field goal, make it to where Jones has to have a touchdown.
Now to play the other side of that, Glenn, if you keep it right here, look at the Lions, they're just letting the clock run all the way down. They're going to call a timeout at the last possible second, so we're going to be under 3 minutes to play when the time is blown dead. So at 2:52 to go in the football game, it's going to be a timeout. Let's hold it right here. Glenn, let's set the scenario for you. It's a 17-14 game. East Mississippi leads by a field goal. They have the football at the Jones 2-yard line. Fourth down and goal to go. They had it at the 4, got to carry down to the 1, but then in successive plays have been unable to gain yardage. In fact, they've lost a little bit each time. Now, as you say, Glenn, if you kick the field goal here, you take the field goal option away from Jones. Basically, it means they've got to drive, they got to have a touchdown to beat you. No such thing as kicking a field goal and looking for overtime. On the other side, if you go for it here and you score, the game's basically over. And if you don't score, you leave Jones, albeit with 3 timeouts, but you leave them under 3 minutes to play and the length of the field in front of them. This is why I'm in a radio booth and not on the sideline. I think I'd probably kick it. But the Lions, they're going to go for it. Price, the running back, he's to the left of the quarterback. Lindsey Scott, he's got the handoff, and he's going to fight. He's going to push. I think his second effort got him in at the end. Second effort got him into the end zone. Price was hit about the 3, but he just pushed and he pushed and he pushed. And he gets into the end zone. And the Lions are going to take a commanding lead.
That was an outstanding job by Terrell Price, Charlie, and man, goes over the top, and then when he gets his feet back to the ground, he powers them through, and they get a good push, gets him into the end zone. 23-14 is your score. Extra point coming up.
And it is true, and it's a 24-14 game, 2:46 to go. We'll take 30 seconds. You're listening to Lion Football, the EMCC Radio Network. They take up 5 minutes as they drive at 70 yards and take a 10-point lead, 24-14. They'll kick off. And retreating back to the 4-yard line to field the kick is Deshaun Smith. They'll come back to the 20, get a seam out to the 30 to the 35-yard line and be tackled at that spot.
And return to the 4, Deshaun Smith.
And there's 2 minutes, 38 seconds standing between East Mississippi and a rematch, a likely rematch we'll call it, with the Rangers of Northwest in a state championship game.
Yeah, the Rangers lead Hines in the third quarter, 20-3 as of right now. That game, I'm assuming, would be in Senatobia.
So first down and 10 for the Bobcats of Jones. They're at their own 35. Hawthorne is going to work off play action. Looks to throw. He's under some pressure. Now being flushed from the pocket. Going to fire deep downfield. There's going to be a fight for the football. Did he catch that ball?
He did.
Oh, my goodness, what a catch. Jonas Spivey just made a catch at the 6-yard line. Boy, that ball traveled 60 yards in the air, at least. What a throw and what a catch. Lion defender was draping him. He made the catch. Well, talk about the change in momentum all of a sudden. Down to the 6-yard line of East Mississippi. And now Hawthorne will have his team first down goal to go. Give it to Phillips. Phillips is going to fight his way down to about the 3-yard line.
Scott Phillips on the carry.
Tyree Evans among those there to make the tackle, bring up second and goal. They'll give him the 4, and they'll set it ready for play. 1:54 now to go. Hawthorne has the snaps, going to try to keep it himself. He's under pressure. Now he's going to make the pass. It's Paul makes a touchdown. Well, unbelievable. Hawthorne took the snap, looked as if he might run. He found nothing. He stood up. He worked out to the edge. And there was Kendall Parham, the receiver, had such a big half, we've kind of forgotten about him. Just shuffled it out to him, and Parham raced it into the end zone. Well, this one's not over yet. 24-20, 1:44 to go. And the Bobcats will try the field goal to tighten this one up even more. High pass back, it's going to be over the head of the holder. It's no good, and that's a big missed field goal, or a big missed extra point rather, because now if you're Jones and you are able to recover the onside kick that you believe will be forthcoming, you really have to score. So you have to score the touchdown. But boy, they scored that one in a hurry, under a minute. They take over at their own 35, they run a couple of plays and they score. They have the long pass completion to Spivey to get it down to the 6. And then 2 plays later, get the touchdown pass to Parham.
Oh, the dramatic build-up here, Charlie. 24-20 is your score. 1:44 left to go in the contest. State championship trip on the line. Jones will come out and line up for the onside kick. Scoreboard shows Jones with 3 timeouts. East Mississippi has 2.
And now you get that hands team out on the field for the Lions. 1:44 to go. Cruzy will kick it off. And now Jones is going to use one of those timeouts on the kickoff. Well, that's not how you draw it up. Because in a ball game where time is of the essence, just 1:44 to play. Boy, you hate to spend the timeout on your kickoff unit, but that will be the case. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to hold it right here. Here's the situation. It was a 17-7 game at the halftime, and the Lions had the lead on the strength of a touchdown drive right before the end of the half. Neither team able to dent the scoreboard in the third quarter, but in the fourth, JC has gotten a pair of touchdowns. The Lions have added one. That's a 24-20 game. We have 1:44 to go in the contest. And now it is time for the hands team. And what do you want to tell them right here, Glenn? You want that front wall to remember it's got to go 10 yards. Don't come up and help them. Cruzy has teed it up at the 35. It's going to be offsides, not going to be called. Lions are going to recover it. I believe that was Dontario Drummond.
It was, and Drummond has had an outstanding day. You know, he's from Laurel, so he's in his hometown area, and he has really stepped up and stood out for the Lions as he makes a big catch on that kickoff recovery right there for the Lions. East Mississippi will have the football. 1:43 to go, with the ball spotted on the 44-yard line of Jones on the near hash, going from left to right, clinging to a 24-20 lead.
Now Jones can stop the clock twice, but as we have documented, they were forced to use a timeout before the kickoff, and well, that's a big deal in terms of saving time off this clock. First down would ice it for the Lions. They're going to hand the football to Tyrell Price, and he's going to fight his way down to the 41-yard line, and Jones will take the first of those timeouts. 1:37 to go, and boy, this is one, Glenn, where you've got to be careful because you know that Jones is going to be trying to strip the football. They're going to be clawing for it, and as much as you don't want to take away the aggressiveness, the aggression, if you will, of Tyrell Price, at the same time, you know, those balls can get knocked out when you're standing up fighting for those few extra yards.
Absolutely, and also you'll see them, as you saw just that last play, Charlie, they'll start creeping up. Those linebackers start creeping up. They're bringing the house almost every play, and they're lining up, locking up man across all your wide receivers and bringing that free safety down in the box for extra support, trying to make something happen. So you just got to be patient here, protect the football. Big second down coming up.
A lot of freshmen across that offensive line for the Lions of EMCC, but they have acquitted themselves nicely here today. Second down, 8 to go. Scott out of the shotgun. He's going to hand the football to Mark. He's going to come to the 40, get down to the 36. Not enough for a first down, but it is a nice gain of about 4 yards. Make it 5 yards, and now Jones will use what should be their last timeout. Clock will stop at 1:31. And now the situation, Glenn, is this. If you're the Lions, you run the football here on third down. You hope you convert. If you do, the game's over.
Yeah, you're third down and 2. Ball looks to be on the 36-yard line. You need to get just across.
Basically have to get to the 29.
Yeah, you get to the 29. Or actually, no, you get to the 34.
34, yeah, excuse me.
You get to the 34, you've got the first down, as the marker is kind of in between the 34 and 35 from our vantage point up here in the booth. Third downs have built as the time has ticked down. Charlie, we've said it all day. This is a big third down. None bigger than this one right here.
Tyrell Price is the running back. Lindsey Scott Jr. is the quarterback. You could bet one of these guys will have the football on this play. And Scott's going to keep it. And he's going to fight. And I think he's going to dive, and he's going to have it. He is going to get inside the 34. And unless there is something funny about the chains across the way, that's a first down, and it is.
First down.
Well, you had to know that one of those two was going to get the football, but Price, glad the defense keyed on him a little bit. Scott kept it himself, and now the clock runs at 1:13. The Lions will have themselves a chance barring a catastrophe in the final minute, to play for another state championship. And at this point, all you've got to be able to do is execute a snap and taking a knee. Scott will go under center, and he will take the snap, and he will take a knee. Clock will run now at 50 seconds. And now you see the Lions get an athlete back, Gwen. A lot of times you see a team take a knee. They've got one guy way back behind the quarterback as a safety. They didn't have that the last play, but Drummond recognizes it. He'll get back there this time. And now just about one more snap, and it should do it. Lindsey Scott goes under center. He has the snap. He's taking the knee. And the Lions of EMCC are going to advance to a championship game. They get a win on the road here in the opening week of the football season, opening week of the playoff season, that is. And Glenn, Lions, it wasn't always pretty, but this was a gutsy effort by this football team today.
Absolutely, Charlie. We've talked about before how hard it is to beat a team twice. And Jones found that to be true today, as they couldn't get it done the second time around either. This team defensively showed a lot of resiliency and stepped up as the game went on and really became efficient and got off the field on third down. Just did an outstanding job. And offensively, they did enough to get the win, preserving a 24-20 victory and a chance to, or moving on to the state championship next week. And looks like it will be at Northwest, as last we heard, Northwest was leading Hines in the third quarter of that ball game.
So the situation is this: the Lions have come on the road. They've gotten a 24-20 win. They will be in a situation a week from now to play for a state championship. They will most likely, as Glenn Beard alluded to, do that in Senatobia, Mississippi. Glenn, let's talk real quick about that football game. Assuming they will play Northwest, that is the one blot on the season ledger for the Lions this year. They lost the game at Northwest. They didn't tackle very well in that ball game. And a lot of people look at that score and think, boy, the Lions really don't have much chance. I think you and I think the Lions have a good chance to win that game. They're going to have to clean a few things up.
Oh, absolutely. There were a lot of turnovers, one thing. But the most glaring thing, Charlie, we talked about a good bit, was the Lions came out flat during that ball game, and Northwest was treating it as if it was their Super Bowl. And you can't do that in JUCO football, but I can guarantee you next week the Lions won't come out flat, as they know what is on the line, as they are in prime position to be able to slip back into the national championship picture. More than likely, good chance they will slide past Arizona Western this week in the rankings up to number 2, and a win next week could potentially vault them back to number 1.
I have to think, too, that just looking at the ranking system, the winner of that game next week is basically going to go to the national championship game. So it's going to be a question whether it be Northwest or whether it be the Lions of EMCC trying to add to their totals, but they get the win today in the opening round of the playoffs here in Ellisville, and they will play for a state championship in 1 week. So until that time, this has been Charlie Winfield. Glenn Beard, you've been listening to EMCC Lion Football.